you hear me? People. You should be able to. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you got a lot of Red Bulls. I've got this drink I've poured out, but I'm afraid it's not Red Bull. It's a Monster. I'll go and get the can in a minute. Right, I'm just waiting for confirmation you can hear me, and then I will tell you my plan for this stream. Can you hear me? Brilliant. There's a lot of delay in the stream, so now I'm going to get about 300 things in the chat saying you can hear me. So, my plan, which I have to explain very quickly because of the time, is in the UK it's just before 10 p.m. So hopefully this stream I'll finish just after midnight when I celebrate New Year here. But I have quite a lot of European viewers who are 1 hour ahead, and maybe some people that are 2 hours ahead. So if there's anyone that's 2 hours ahead of UK time, which I can't work out, let me know, and we will celebrate your New Year in 4 minutes time. Because I thought people often use fireworks to celebrate New Year, but I don't have fireworks, and I can't really use them in the lab. But I do have lots of capacitors and a power supply that can blow them up. So if there is anyone in a time zone, well, if it's 3 minutes to midnight for anyone, let me know in the chat, and we'll blow up a capacitor for you. Otherwise, if there's no one, we'll have to wait an hour. But I've got some things to play with while we wait. 1 a.m. Ah, we're too late for someone. Happy New Year. Yeah. anyone in America, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stream for another like 7 hours to wait for you guys. So you'll have to do your own thing. I wonder if I can make this chat a bit bigger, because as you can see, I'm at the bench and the computer's a bit far away. But I've got a new setup using the camera I use for the videos, which I can talk about after we've probably not celebrated anyone's New Year in 2 minutes' time. There we go. I've set my Chrome to a 250%. So now I can read your messages from here. Happy New Year, enjoying your content. 1 a.m. San Francisco. What time is it in San Francisco? It must be... What is it here? I can't see the time now. If it's about 10 here, it must be like early afternoon there. Indonesia. Electric Arc guy. Yeah, do any of you struggle with my name? Because I'm sure you've all heard of EEV Blog. He mentioned me on one of his recent podcasts, and he seemed to be struggling with the name, but I hadn't known anyone having issues like saying it before. So, yeah. A celebration worthy of electricians. 2 p.m. Los Angeles. Wow, that's cool. LA. It's 2 p.m. Right, well, it doesn't look like we've got anyone to celebrate at this moment, so we'll wait an hour, because I'm sure there'll be some people in sort of mainland Europe that are 1 hour ahead of me in the UK. And I've got not those orange drawers, but these ones up here. These are completely filled with electrolytics, so when it gets closer to the time, you guys can pick which capacitor we blow up, maybe more than one, to celebrate the new year in Europe. I am from Romania, but I currently am in Germany. 10:59. Ah, if you're not there, it doesn't count, I'm afraid. Hopefully the footage should be a bit higher quality than my past streams, because, as I mentioned, I'm no longer using the crappy webcam. 3:30 AM in India. 3:30. It's like a half-time zone then. I remember getting confused about those in the previous stream. We won't talk about them. Pardon me. Do you have a Tesla coil? If you do, fire it up. I don't. Yeah, maybe I should get one. Oh, you can see the microphone. That's not very professional of me. It's like a sort of behind the scenes. I'll be asleep by 12. Yeah, I know. I wish I was asleep, but I promised I'd do this stream a few days ago, so I was like, right, I'll do it. But I've got my energy drink, so don't worry, I'm not going to fall asleep on you. Until this runs out. 5 AM in Indonesia. Wow, you're far ahead. Have we got anyone in like Japan or like the earliest time zones? 7 PM in Argentina. It's so cool where everyone's from. 405 volt, 500 volt. What have I got? What's this one? Yes, 450 volts, right in the middle. Let me flip this screen around so I can see. I'm just going to play with the computer for 30 seconds, because right now I'm watching myself on the YouTube stream, but that's like 30 seconds delayed, so I've got no idea what's actually showing on camera. Oh, I need to turn my light on as well. Let me see if I can show you the light setup, because it's not very good. So you can see up here, this is a fairly recent thing I've only had for maybe 2 or 3 videos, is I was using sunlight, but now it's winter, so it's not light enough. So I got this strip light, and it's one of these LED ones, and it's so light that I've just screwed it to the shelf at one end. And it runs off the same switch as my angle poise, which is what I normally use. And as you can see, the strip light's not on. And I've got a really sketchy way to turn it on and off, which is this wire, which goes into the light, and a Wago connector. So what I'm now going to do is push the wire into the Wago connector, and my strip light is on. And I didn't die on stream, which is even better. So hopefully now the bench is going to be a bit better lit. And at the very least, the footage will be a bit less grainy. 7 PM Argentina, 11 Germany. Right, we've got at least one person that we can celebrate in an hour's time. Cafe in Miami. Wow, that sounds really nice. Oh shit. I mean, oh bother. Is the stream still... I pressed... I refreshed. Has it broken the stream? Is everyone still there? I don't know what happens if I refresh YouTube while I'm streaming. Still here. Brilliant. Apologies for my language. OBS. I will put that there. Right. All sorted. I was all a little bit rushed sorting out the stream today. Still here. Yes. Excellent. Yes. So we've got this 450 volt cap, but I'm not so keen on blowing this up. I'm not sure I can as well. I've got, that'll only do 80 volts, so it's fine for anything in the drawers, but not this. We could just short it, but I think that's probably a bit scary. Mic volume is kind of low. It is the right mic though. Let me have a little bit of a play. Sometimes control panel seems to just randomly turn down the mic volume. And I did change which USB port it's plugged into, so it might have done that. Better now. Yeah, that's the problem I've got. I think the webcam. Oh no, I've always streamed with this mic. Yeah, yeah. It's designed. It's designed for podcasts where you just sit here and you don't move and everything's perfect. So even when I'm doing the videos, I have to do quite a lot of balancing between clips. Yeah, I know. A lav mic would be good. Like even at the desk, because I like to do things like do the video while I'm talking, not so much voiceover. There's like I'll be doing this and it'll suddenly get way louder and quieter, and I've got to fix all that. If anyone knows a good lav mic that's like, I don't know, 100, 200 quid, that would be good. But then I don't know, are they USB, wireless? Yeah. But I think this seems alright. I thought if I got a complaint in a video about audio, then I'd fix it. But I haven't had one yet, and I've had quite a few views recently. I see you are Team Red Bull. Oh, is that from this? I bought this hat from the winter market at work, and it's meant to be. It came with a chocolate orange, which is a sweet, well, not sweet, like a ball of chocolate. Maybe you don't get it in other places, but that went very quickly. So I wanted to put it on a Red Bull can, but it only fits on the middle size, 355mm, not the big one or the small one. So I had to buy a Red Bull can just for this hat. I'll put it there. I suppose I should hide it soon because it's not Christmas anymore. Let's have a quick look at this audio volume. I think the mic has been turned down. It says it's at 52. I think I normally have it at about 90, so I'll turn it up. Let me know if it deafens you all. Right, that's it at 90. And I'll keep an eye on the levels on OBS. I think if I put it a bit further away, then it won't be too bad. I tend to be quite shouty, but I'll try and be quiet because it's late. I could send you one. Could you? Plenty good volume. Brilliant. Now it's good. Yeah. I think it's because I've got... I do everything on my laptop, so I have to have... oh wait, can you guys not see me? Is it frozen? Oh. Well, I'll keep talking while I try and fix it. I do... oh, has it only frozen on OBS? No, it has actually frozen. Oh, this is such a piece of crap. I do apologise. Yeah, I do everything on my laptop, so I've got various USB splittery, dongly things, and one of them just decided to give up, so that's why it's all changed. We can't see you, I know. So I can't even show you what's not working. You can hear me though, that's the main thing. I'm going to try and fix this as quick as possible. It's because... let me plug in my webcam as a backup, and then we can try and diagnose this together, because I'm using this new capture card thing that I've only recently acquired. Thank you guys for joining this stream, by the way. I'm aware that this isn't a time that many people are available, but I thought I'd do a stream for people who aren't available. I mean people who are available, because I feel like maybe it's a bit like Christmas, it can be a bit of a lonely time if you're on your own. The Red Bull is now the host. Don't worry, I'm fixing this, everyone. Oh, well, I'm trying to. Oh, this is so annoying. Just don't leave, guys. You can hear me. It's like a podcast at the moment. Deactivate, activate. Oh, this is really annoying. Okay. Camera, webcam. I could use the integrated webcam. There's no way that's not going to work. That can be the absolute last resort option. Oh, can you guys see that? Right. There are unsaved changes. Yes, save. Yes, brilliant. You can see me again. Excellent. That's really going to improve the quality of this stream. Let's adjust this a little bit. Zoom out. What are people saying? Red Bull is now the host. Red Bull does it all. Like the teal colour. Teal. What's teal? I don't. What actually is teal? Teal. Green. Oh, like the colour of the channel and things. Yeah, I don't even know where that came from, to be honest. But it's like PCB green. It's the green of my bench. It's so I thought, like I'd have to ask like 6 years ago, but I've stuck with it because it seems to work. Hey, hello again. So let's have a go at getting this to work a bit better. Still using the right mic, that's always positive. So we've got, this is the camera that I normally use for the videos. Sorry, I won't be able to see chat for a little bit. This is the camera I normally use for my videos. It's got a mini HDMI output. So I've got a mini HDMI to HDMI cable. And then I've got this thing, which was only like 15 quid. One of these U-green whatevers. It's meant to go HDMI into the laptop. So it's like it says it's a capture card on it, but I'm not really sure if you could call that a card. But it seems to be quite temperamental. But as you saw, it did work briefly. So I'm going to add it as a separate input. Video capture device. U-green. Let's try that. U-green. Ah, can you guys see that? Maybe you can. So let's just do that all default. And now it's frozen. Have I frozen for you guys? Yeah. How can the integrated webcam freeze? How does that even happen? Oh, this is so annoying. I got all excited because I thought it was going to be a high quality, high fidelity stream. But it doesn't look very promising. Let's have a go with this thing then. So it says no signal even though it's plugged into the camera. Maybe I'll just plug in my Wii and we'll do a gaming stream. Ah, that was close. What happened there? Bad capacitor. Well, it looks like there's quite a few people watching, even though this is... whatever's happening is happening. So, why don't you guys tell me if you got anything fun for Christmas? Or are people a bit old for that? What? How was everyone's Christmas? Plug in the Wii. Maybe in a minute. Maybe in a bit. I was playing on the Wii earlier with my friend. Right, let's try again. It's weird how it's frozen the other thing. Let's try and get this camera working again, so at least people can see. There we go. So deactivate and activate seems to make it work. You got hot tweezers. That's quite good. I want a pair of those. I've been lent a pair, but I don't own a pair yet. What games were you playing? Oh, I will go and get them in a minute. I just want one last go with this camera. No signal. It hasn't frozen yet, so I can shrink. Oh no, what am I moving now? That. Pop that there. Nothing, sadly. You're only 16. Oh, that's a bit sad. Most of my presents were from me, if that's any constellation. Ugreen, no signal. It's not a very good advert for this dongle thing. Maybe someone will watch and they can send me a better one. Because I would have got like an actual PCIe card, but obviously it's a laptop, so that wouldn't be so simple. And if I can't get this working, then I can't even play at the bench. But it does look like there's enough people that I'll have things to talk about. My head is a solar eclipse. Yeah, I know. That shows how bright the strip light is when you haven't got a high dynamic range. That's why I turn it off normally, because it's, even if I'm just sat at the computer here, it's kind of painful, to be honest. It's pretty good, like, lumens for the price, though. I think that thing's like, I think it says it's 4,000 lumens, and it was like 20 quid. B&Q. An electronic starter kit and a multimeter from my girlfriend. Slowly starting to build up a lab. Oh, that's nice. It always feels like an impossible thing, like building up a lab, but then before you know it, you've just got too much stuff. I guess we will have to give up with this for now. Thumbs down for this Ugreen adapter thing. If anyone knows of something that's good to get HDMI into a laptop, let me know. I bought this cable as well. Maybe that's the thing that doesn't work. Oh well. I'll have a quick go with the normal webcam, because if that works, then at least we can move around. I don't want to move the laptop because I've got Ethernet plugged in. Camera, so let's try this one. Hey, turn off and on the camera. Oh, I've tried off and on, plugging in, unplugging. The other problem with the camera anyway is that the battery only lasts about 40 minutes, so I'd have to keep, and every time I swap the battery this will happen. So let's have a go with the normal webcam. There we go. I don't know if that looks better. I think from below is not an angle I want at the moment, so let's go for above. Oh, you can't see anyway, that's perfect. There we go. Oh wow, this is cool, isn't it? Maybe I'll just stream like this. You've got the two perspectives. Let's pop this on the thing, and I will quickly read through the chat, see if I've missed anything. It's quite good. It's like doing a camera review, this. They're both pretty shit, though. 1080, try 720. The camera's meant to have a 1080p output, so that's why I thought I'd fix it at that. What games were you two playing? We'll do that in a minute. My friend visited with his dog on Christmas. That's nice. Yes, I mean, you said that's nice. I'm saying, yeah, that sounds really good. I don't like... I grew up with like a dog, like my parents had a dog. I didn't like that, but I like other people's dogs. I think when it's maybe it's the same with children. Like if it's someone else's, you get all the nice bits, but you don't have to like, I don't know. I feel like if you're with someone and they've got their kid, you can play with their kid, but if their kid starts crying, then you don't have to deal with it. maybe that's not how it works though. Turn off and on the camera. Will we see a corona? We'll just see a strange orange haze. What are you looking at to do with the Ugreen thing? The Ugreen thing's to go from the camera, the DSLR I used to record the videos, into the computer. I did have it working. I think I'll have to do more of a play with it, because it only arrived like a day ago and I haven't had time to actually test it. Any animals? Do I have any animals? No. I'd like a cat. I'd like a lab cat. I don't know if any of you watch The Signal Path. I haven't watched him for quite a long time, but he's like taking apart something that's really expensive and this cat just walks on it. Yeah, I'd like a lab cat, but while I'm renting houses, I don't think that's likely because landlords are mean. Let's see it from behind. See what from behind? Yes. 90s music visualizer stream. Yeah, this is like a music video, isn't it? Do you have a university degree? No, not yet. I'm working on it. If I'd picked a different type of degree, I would have had it by now. But I picked the longest one because I thought uni would be fun, and it is. I think uni's probably more fun than a job will be for me. So I'm glad I've picked the longest option. Camlink, great capture card. No joke, debating that. Or yeah, the Ugreen as well. They've got loads of different ones. It was a bit weird. They had some that are like boxes that just go on the desk, and then some that are like that adapter, this adapter. But then they had different adapters that look exactly the same but had different specs. This one is supposed to be able to do. I think it said 4K 30 or 1080p 60 or something like that. I just need 1080p 30, but not very good. I know the signal path. Brilliant. Oh, hi, Nick. Oh, wait. No, that's a different Nick. Sorry, I thought you were someone I knew. I know their surname starts with an L. The Ugreen USB acquisition card works for literally everything. Is that this thing? I guess it is. Oh, it doesn't work for me. I've watched about 6 of your videos in the past week, 0. Yeah, I guess that's probably the case with quite a few people. I mean, I've only been doing videos that are, well, not crap for like 6 months, so, or maybe engaging would be the better word. What is the hardest thing about electronics? Maybe some of the theory. I think the theory is hard if you don't have much practical like experience or opportunities to go with it. If people are just like, this voltage becomes this current and the integral becomes this flux and all this stuff, but you've never actually like played with inductors, I think that's probably quite difficult to like get your head around. That's why I think electronics is better than like some slightly more theoretical things. Is there's theory, but you can actually like try it out. You want the in-out plastic case one. Oh, like the proper big one. Yeah. I was slightly put off by one that had an output, a HDMI out as well, because I thought if it's just got in, I didn't know whether you had to have an output as well, and then I'd have to like plug it into my TV or something. Speaking of Ugreen, I know their charging kit is all right, but I think I buy their cables quite a lot because it just seems really hard to buy cables and not get scammed. Like I don't like Amazon at all, but like, where do people buy like USB-C, like 100-watt cables from, apart from Amazon? I don't know. Yeah. I've got Ugreen other stuff, like Ugreen. The thing that I like, the hub I plug my laptop into is Ugreen. I've got one. Let me get it. I've got the phone laptop charger as well. Here it is. This is the charger I keep in my bag for charging the laptop. It's one of these foldy ones, 65 watt. But I just thought it's quite good because it's got the various ports, and the folding thing's probably going to break soon, but it's fun to play with, which is probably why it's going to break soon. Keep doing the videos. I have been off on holiday and time to watch them. Oh, thank you. Your teaching methods will take you far. You can use this channel as a resume. Yeah, I think it would be quite cool if I got to the point where like you go to like a job application and they're like, oh, we already know you. But I think I'm a bit off that yet. I've only been recognised once. But even once is too much for an introvert like me. You're just trying to mind your own business and someone's like, is that you? And I'm like, no. Let me sit down because my knees can't take any more floor. The question is, which camera do we use? Do people want overexposure or underexposure? Let's have a go. The webcam's a bit less wide. I don't know whether that's good or not. And I can't move the laptop. I can move the webcam. Let's see if I put the webcam on the tripod. Is that any good? Because then, oh, whoops. Then we can continue to play at the bench. Hello. Does this work? It's a bit tight, isn't it? I think that's a bit too much space. Yeah, we'll go for overexposed. It makes for a cool looking thumbnail when I pick a random frame as well. Oh no, we don't want that. Oh, that's a bad place to freeze. There we go. Right. Webcam. So I'll keep this here. Pop that to the side. Do we need? I suppose I could turn this off. Didn't die again. And then let's go for this over. The dynamic range on this camera is terrible. It's just this overexposed circle and everything else is dark. If I put that over there, and then maybe turn this light off. What about this one? We can try that. You're seeing a lot more lab than is supposed to be shown on stream. Hopefully people won't go back, and I mean the quality of this, I don't think anyone's going to make anything out anyway. Oh, so much chat. This is brilliant. I thought this would be a really quiet stream. I didn't think we'd have people available. Teaching method. Can exposure settings? Yes, I can manually adjust them in OBS. Is it worth it? I'm not sure. I think it's not going to make it look any better. You're just basically picking what's overexposed. Right, the market is like 90% scammers. Yeah, Amazon is just shocking. Like, if there's people that like buy components on Amazon, I think, like, if it's the only place you can get them from, I guess it's all right. But like, you can, if you buy like a box of components on Amazon, you can find the exact same thing on AliExpress, but on Amazon it's like 20 quid. But it's got free next day delivery, so that's enough to sell it to some people. 250 watt cables, which aren't bad for $2. 250 watt. Because PD's gone up, hasn't it? I know. Last time, a while ago, when I was, well, my laptop does it to 100 watts. That's what I was aware of. But I did know that they were looking to make PD a bit chunkier, even chunkier. Do you have a Variac? I do have a Variac, but I don't think it's in this property. I think it's at my parents', where I dump all my stuff I don't use so much. It's not very useful. I bought it for a project, but didn't end up making that project. And it's designed to be panel mounted, so you can't really use it. You can't put it down. There's a lot of exposed mains all over it. So I don't think I've even powered it up before. Order on AliExpress if you want a good price. Have you ever tried singing? Your deep voice... Oh, let me put you in a better place. Sorry if that made a loud noise. Your deep voice has a very warm resonance. I sing all the time, but not when anyone's around. I don't have the sort of self-confidence to sing when anyone's around, really. I don't know. Maybe if someone sends a super chat, I'll sing. Really, please don't do that. Overexposed. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very far. The chat's not as laggy as I'm making it seem. I'm just a slow reader. AliExpress sells really cheap stuff. Yeah, I know. I had a brief period because I used to buy my bits off eBay, and then I found them cheaper on AliExpress, so I got them on that. And then I just had I had a project where it was just not working, and it was really annoying. And I thought, like, what is wrong with this design? And then I bought the same chips from RS, and it just worked perfectly. And I was like, right, I'm never buying any components from AliExpress again, because, like, even if the project costs more, I'm not... It's just so frustrating when it doesn't work, and the reason why is the components themselves. Because I mean, even if like the sort of fake AliExpress ones work, they're just a lot more sensitive probably to like ESD and things. For me, it's not really worth it. Red Bull comes back. Do you want me to bring the can over? Is that what you're asking? I'll go and get it in a minute. I think that's probably not what you're saying though. Yeah, I've got this Red Bull hoodie I got from work, but it's Red Bull Sim Racing. I haven't heard of. Well, I haven't seen the logo or anything. It's very big and very pink, but it was cheap, so I wear it inside. Maybe I'll put something else on in a minute. A good brand cable on AliExpress is Essager, also Tuki. Not, the names aren't quite as bad as these weird scammy Amazon ones where they just randomly smash a keyboard to come up with their company names. 250 watt cable for $2. Yeah, definitely not up to spec. Maybe we could test it. How about instead of I'm not going to read that. Can I tell you about Amazon will pay you 65% more. Well, Amazon, you will pay. I was about to say. I'm not selling. 48 volt, 5 amps. That's crazy. Are they paralleling pins for that? Because the pins inside USB-C are tiny. Or are they water cooled? Like a car charger. That's nice. Nice stuff. Sorry, 240, not 250. Yes. Wait, 240. Oh, I thought you were talking about volts. And I was thinking of 230 as well. I get all these like Europeans commenting saying, I think you'll find UK is actually 230 volt now, and then you shove a multimeter in the socket and it's like 245. Do you like Ali Neko? I don't know who or what that is, sorry. How do you pay the rent, sir? I work at Red Bull. That just about pays the rent. If that's what you mean. This is your first live... Is this your first live stream? No, this is my third live stream. I've done 30k, 40k. This is 50k. Although I'm only about 100 subs off 60k, so I had to get it in tonight. I thought New Year's stream would be nice as well anyway. So you never know. 60k might be tomorrow. Probably not though. I don't think streams work very well if I'm tired. Oh, whoops, I've clicked on something. Ah, thank you for the money, and also thank you for not asking me to sing. Keep making the videos and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. If you stick around for another 28 minutes, we're going to blow up a capacitor or two in celebration of the Europeans and their New Year. And I was happy to find out that you guys don't celebrate it a day early like you do Christmas. Are you planning to do PCB design? I've got an old series that I did sort of a year and a half ago, which is not particularly good. It's probably a bit rambly. That's talking about KiCad and things. I might do at some point, but I think I am trying to avoid doing videos that there's already lots of videos on. I think there's already there's good channels that just do PCB videos, so I'm not sure what I'd be adding, really. What suppliers do you buy components from? It's really bad, but I exclusively buy from Mouser now. I like Mouser, Farnell, DigiKey and RS. They're my 4 go-tos, but I'll only go to the others now if Mouser doesn't have what I need. Because I'm lazy and it's a lot easier to just get everything from one. I think Mouser's probably the most expensive, but they've got the most parts. So it's very rare that they don't have what I need. What else? There's problems with some of the others as well, so I find the RS website has no filter for if something's in stock, which means it's immediately completely useless. Because if you're looking at, like, I don't know, I've been looking at LEDs recently, you've got to just open them all in new tabs and then go through each tab to see whether they're in stock or not, and it's just such a waste of time. And the Farnell site's really chuggy. It's if you're trying to like fly through really quick, changing like filters and things, Mouser website is really fast. So That's why I use that. It might be different in other countries as well. This kid has a nice disposition. Would make a great actor / presenter. What does disposition mean? Disposition. Disposition. A person's inherent qualities or mind of character. The way in which something is placed or arranged. I suspect it's probably the first one. Your sunny disposition has a way of rubbing off on those around you. Does my sunny disposition have a way of rubbing off on you guys? Google said something really important, everyone. Now would be a good time to insert ads. The more viewers are watching, the more money creators can earn by inserting ads. Give it a try. What do we think? I won't do it to you guys yet. I'll do it if I need to go to do something. I think that's a bit... I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like that. YouTube, like, more people are watching. Quick, give them an ad. Because on the live streams, I just click a button, boom, you've got ads. Well, I mean, some of you might not. But I think YouTube have been getting rid of some ad blocks recently, haven't they? But I won't talk about them in case I get my channel deleted or something, promoting bad things. I can't decide which screen to look at as well. I've got... Right now, you're on my webcam on the laptop there, and then that's my main monitor that I normally use, and they're just mirrored at the moment. But I will look at the laptop because then it's a bit more like I'm looking at you. Have you seen that thing on... Does FaceTime still have the thing where they move your eyes? So, because obviously you're not staring at the camera, you're staring a bit below it. But then they use AI or something and move your pupils, so it looks like you're looking at the camera. It's really creepy. You have some components you can buy on AliExpress, but the majority, yeah, they're pretty bad. Yeah, for me, it's you can get good stuff, but I have such limited time to make these videos. I'm just looking to find the parts, buy them, get them here. The shipping's obviously really fast from the proper suppliers too. And thankfully, because of all you wonderful viewers, I get enough money from the videos to pay for whatever whatever components I need for them, which is really, really nice. Can you share a source? You're not talking to me. Happy New Year anyway. Your videos have been instrumental in my understanding. I love the comprehensive detail you go into. Thank you. That's really good. I always find when I first think of a video idea, I'm thinking about how much detail to go into for each bit, but then it sort of seems to come quite naturally once I start kind of recording it and thinking about what to do and ordering bits and things. I always try and, because you're always going to get viewership tailing off through a video, so I try and cover the most important things really briefly at the start, and then slowly go into the more and more complex things in more and more detail. So, because if someone just watches the first 10% of a video, I'd like them to go away with at least some sort of knowledge or new knowledge. And it's tricky. It's a tricky balance because it's I try and do every single video starting at the lowest level and building up, but you've got to build up quite quickly so you don't get people that already know that stuff bored. So yeah, I have to wait 6.5 hours to New Year's. Where are you then? 6.5. So you must be on the... Are you on the east coast of that continent? Are you contractually obliged to be a Verstappen fan now? No, I'm a Lawson fan. Are there any of those? I'm not really particularly attached to any drivers or teams, to be honest. There was a time when Red Bull was my favourite team, probably the time I applied to work there, but I'm fairly neutral now, I would say. Newark, they own Farnell, so if you're in another place, it's probably the same thing. It's like Green website, because I think if you go on Farnell in the UK, Farnell. Farnell and Avnet Company, and I'm fairly sure Newark is also one, isn't it? I think. RS Radio Shack. RS is... It was originally called Radio Spares. It was founded like just after the war, I think. The Second World War. But now they're just called RS. And they've got they're very like well-known boxes which are just white and it says RS all over it. I don't know if I have any. I think it's all just Mauser stuff now. It's just boring brown boxes. DigiKey is pretty pricey too. Yeah, DigiKey's the one I haven't really used before. I just find that I think DigiKey is probably the closest to Mauser in terms of like component availability and quality and things, but I just find the website slightly less intuitive. I eat cats. Okay. Are you who he was talking about? They're eating the cats and dogs. What about LCSC? Is that the Chinese one, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't really tried that kind of thing. I'm just sticking with Mauser for now until I have any problems with them. Got to go. Have a good time. All right. Bye. Louise, one of those two. Hopefully, I think they've probably gone anyway, so hopefully they won't be offended. Tell Google to insert it. Insert what? Gotta go. Everyone's going. Don't leave me, guys. How many viewers have we got? Has everyone gone? Wow, there's a lot of viewers. I thought there'd be less viewers than the past streams, but I've got quite a few more. Yeah, it's quite interesting looking at all the numbers. Let's see if YouTube... What I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to extend my screen instead of just duplicating it. Then I can actually benefit from having two. There we go. This is pretty nice. Now I can see me there, and I can see you here. Yes, this is quite interesting. So it says 43 concurrent viewers, 308 views. I guess you guys can see that as well, but it seems like on these streams you get a lot of people coming and going. I don't know whether that's good or not. I guess it's better than them not coming in the first place. But now the chat is on here, so I will try and read it and then look at you. Gotta go, I know. I made my own ad blocker. Naughty. Explain to Google I have YouTube Premium. Yeah, YouTube Premium. I support YouTube Premium. It's in the YouTube analytics. It separates money from ads and money from premium, so it's quite interesting. I don't think there's much difference in terms of what the creator gets from views from either of them. As a new viewer, I was recommended by YouTube by your capacitor video first. Your thumbnails are good too. Yeah, I'm trying my best not to do anything too clickbaity. Like the videos where there's like all caps word, I really don't like that. The like video titles. That's why I quite like the MOSFET video, because MOSFET's an abbreviation. You have to put it in all caps, so it looks like I'm doing one of these clickbaity like what you need to know about MOSFETs, but really that's just how they are. It does. You do kind of see the difference though, because like for me, everything you need to know about is a very clickbaity title that's obviously not true. But the videos with the word "every" in the title are all my best performing videos, because there's everything you need to know about MOSFETs, every component of a switch mode power supply, every component of a linear power supply, every capacitor. It's literally that one word, and I get like at least twice as many views. So I don't know. I'm not doing all caps though, and I'm not doing these thumbnails with all the bright colours or my face going. Hopefully I won't have to stoop to that level. What do you guys think about, or other people? What do you think about the thumbnails? I try to just go for a picture. Occasionally I'll put a bit of text on or something. But yeah, do you want bright, colourful pictures of me holding something to the camera and going, "You'll never believe this component"? that's been around for 100 years. European here. Hello. Your videos are very great, but my brain crashes. Oh, it sounds like you should watch them over and over again with ads on. I think that'll help. Newark in USA. Radio Shack Tandy used to be in every shopping mall. Oh, there'll never be electronics shops that are actually like real again, will there? We used to have one. It wasn't quite the same level, but it was close, called Maplin in this country. That closed, I don't know, a few years ago now, but I used to go there all the time as a kid and like just pester the staff there. But they were, by the time I went, like, yeah, they were more kind of consumer electronics. They had, like, you could buy some components, but it was more like selling, like, I don't know, CCTV and maybe like audio equipment and things. Great Scott also recommends Mauser. Great minds think alike. 41. 41 what? Okay. I clicked like. What did you like? The stream? Oh yeah. Like the stream, everyone. They might get it on more people's page. What's it called? Like homepage. I think I'm going to swap my two windows over so that I don't have to look away so much. Because I think the side of my head is not a very nice shape. I think from the front I probably look a bit less weird. So let's go for that. I came and went twice now. I wonder if I counted twice. Yeah, I don't know. I have had it. I've quite a long time ago when I was doing other YouTube activities. I like did a live stream and then on a different computer, like in the same network, I just opened it in loads of tabs, and on both PCs and a friend on like the wider internet, it all showed as viewers. So I got like 200 viewers just from opening it in 200 tabs. But obviously that won't work in terms of monetization and things. But I think streams are a bit less strict on what counts as a view, and then they probably tidy it up afterwards for the. It's called a VOD, isn't it? When a stream becomes a video. What does that mean? I'll let someone else say if they want to. 13 minutes before New Year's for Europeans. So we'll play with capacitors in a minute. Love your videos. Thank you very much. From Nigeria. Creator gets way more from premium. Right, everyone get premium. It's very important that you buy YouTube Premium. Very important. I was thinking about... Actually, no. Yeah, I don't have YouTube Premium because it's quite expensive. But you should get it. I worked at Radio Shack in the early 90s. Oh, I bet it was a great job. And this person works at Radio Shack too. Paul. That's so cool. I'll be gone by the time you read this. Wow, that's pretty deep. I wanted to give you thanks for the knowledge shared. Cheers from the USA and Happy New Year. Yep, you too. Depends if you want to go full-time or not. I would quite like to, but my... other people are a bit less keen on me being a YouTuber. I think I'll see how it goes next year when I'm back at uni, because I'll have a lot more time then, so that'll be a better test of whether it's possible or not. But this is definitely a sort of dream job for me because the human interactions are so minimal. That's basically I don't find work tiring, but people. Is there a Discord server? There is. It's linked in my community section, and I think at the top of my channel page as well. It's pretty dead. I think that's probably my fault. I'm not much of a Discorder person. I made the server, put some channels in it, and yeah, there's not a lot going on. If you don't want to do full time, you can stay with the normal non-clickbait title. If it's a choice of doing this as a job, but you have to do clickbait, or no clickbait, but you don't earn enough money, that's a tricky one. Please don't make me make that decision. Maybe I'll just do Big Clive style. Like, I don't think he does clickbait very much, but you just do loads and loads and loads of videos. I like your thumbnails. They show you exactly what's in the box. A clickbait thumbnail that spoofs clickbait is fun. Like Big Clive. Yeah, I think I like the way that Big Clive just kind of like takes the piss quite a lot. He's got a lot of subs now though. He's over 1 million, isn't it? I haven't watched him for a while though. I haven't watched anyone. If you're on the same account, you are only one. What does that refer to? I can't remember. It's quite tricky, this. Imagine trying to have like 5 simultaneous conversations with different people, and all of them are just like, I don't know. I guess at least I don't have to listen to 5 people at once. So that would be quite tricky. Thinking of making a drone. Yeah, that's a very popular project, isn't it? Has been for a few years. I think if you've got a 3D printer, then it's very fun. You can do the whole thing. Maybe someday you'll make a video about drones. Maybe. Again, I think it's something that quite a lot of people are doing videos about. Yeah. Also, I don't really have a lot of experience with drones. Like, they're cool, but I guess they're kind of a little bit like the e-scooters, where they're sort of cool, but lots of people have them, and then also it's all sort of a little bit shady about what the rules are. Like in the UK, the e-scooters you're not supposed to. Well, they're basically illegal. You're not allowed to ride them on the road or the pavement, but obviously they're everywhere. So I think the drones are a bit like that, aren't they? It's like, apart from tiny ones, you're not supposed to fly them. But I've got a big DJI one, that an old one I acquired. I didn't steal it. And I think you're meant to have some kind of license for that, but I just fly it around fields occasionally. You can just use an ad blocker. No, you can't. What is that? We don't use that here. I don't have Netflix or other random subscription service, so premium is a good investment. Yeah, I think that is the case for most people. You have to pick wisely what subscription service you're going to go for. I think for me that subscription service is internet, because yeah, it's a bit silly in this country. In the UK we've got like fibre to the property in a lot of places, and then old phone line sort of DSL modem crap in the places that don't have fibre to the property, and they cost the same. So like where I was last year, I think my internet was £35 a month, and I had gigabit up and down. Now I'm paying £30 a month, which is the cheapest one I could find, and I've got about 8 megabit down and about 5 megabit up, because it's not fibre, and it costs the same price. I think the government should say, like, if your internet's less than this speed, if you haven't got fibre, it's capped at like £5 a month or something, because it's shockingly slow. Like, some of my videos, like, I have to leave them overnight to upload, pretty much all of them, because I export in 4K. The finished videos it's not uncommon for them to be over 10 gigabytes, which in my old house would have uploaded in like well under an hour. Anyway, Clive doesn't stream on YouTube anymore. Yeah, I saw that community post. He said he was moving to Twitch or something. Yeah. Is your favourite topic power electronics? Definitely is. It just sort of seems cool. That's about all I can say. It's definitely not sort of my only. I find all electronics interesting, but there's something about power electronics that really appeals. I think it might be because it's just like so simple, but then every little thing gets really complicated. I'm sure there's other bits of electronics like that, but like for me, like RF stuff, you can't even get started unless your brain is like mega mind. Whereas like power electronics, the basics I think anyone can understand. Hence why I do the videos on it. Discord invite is not valid. Is it? I thought I'd fixed that, because I did it like 3 times and then realised it was only a temporary link, but I thought I had changed it to a permanent one. Let's see. Oh, 2 people have joined it since I've been streaming, so are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Isn't that something some muscly guy said once? Thank you, it worked. Ah, you guys are helping each other and I'm just being slow. Greetings from UA. Is that a state? What's UA? Thanks for damn good educational content. Thanks for damn good educational content and Happy New Year. Thank you. Right. I will catch up with these chats in a minute. It's 5 minutes before New Year's for Europeans. If there's any Europeans in the chat, make yourself known because we're going to blow up some capacitors to celebrate, and I'm going to quickly prepare. Maybe put a capacitance in the chat, and I'll pick one or two of them. Find a capacitor and blow it up. You could do voltage ratings as well, and I'll get back to the chat shortly. What do I need? Right, I'm sure everything's going to be fine, but just in case, I have made a DIY fire blanket, which is a wet paper towel, because I can't imagine anything happening that requires more than that to contain it. I'm probably also going to gas myself if you pick a really big one, so maybe don't. Got the power supply on, move this out of the way. Has anybody said anything? EU, Nichicon. Right, well that's the first person that said anything capacitor related, so I will find a Nichicon. Let's see if I can get the webcam for this. Which one? Turn that on. Oh no, not that. No, we don't want that. 3 minutes. We might be a minute or two late, I'm afraid. Oh, we're getting some good caps now. Thank you, everybody. Deactivate, activate. There we go. Okay. And on. Hee hee. Let's put that there. And then I need to turn my light on. Oh, we got a bit of a spark that time. Right, so that's the right way up. So we've got 3000 mic, someone said. I'm not sure we'll have that exact value. 2200 mic, 400 volt from Nichicon. Let's see what the closest we can find to that. Actually, I guess reverse, we can kill a 400 volt one. So 2200 mic is this drawer. I don't think we've got 400 volt in here. I guess that would be huge actually, wouldn't it? You are in the wrong drawer, my friend. I think these are all a little bit too nice to blow up, but actually, what about the 16 volt Rubicon? Let's go for that. It's a salvaged one, so I don't care so much. Oh, whoops. There's the drawers. What else are people saying? The smoke is not healthy. Yeah, I know. What temperature is it outside? Maybe I can open the window. It's 10 degrees. I think that's all right. I'll blow it up, and then I'm going to open the window and turn the fan on, and it's going to be blowing that way out. So then all the health and safety people can be happy. Activate the fume. I don't actually have a fume extractor. I've got a PC fan that circulates the gases. 10 mic. 2024 10 mic in parallel. You have 2200 mic, 400 volt in your drawer. Wow, that's quite scary. Capacitors are expensive. Not when they're out the bin. Are you two people the same? Are you two the same person? You both worked at Radio Shack and you both got the same capacitor. Right, let's see what we can do. So, what do we need? We need some leads. I bought this thing, it's brilliant. So let's get these two. If anyone from work is watching, I didn't steal these from work, I just bought the same ones because they look nice. We've got negative on positive and positive on negative. See, this is the bit that would have looked really nice if the camera was working properly. Suscon. Oh, I know. Did you see that? Yeah. I got that out of a hi-fi and like a hi-fi amp, and I couldn't believe what I'd found. Right, let's turn off the scope because it's a bit noisy. We'll just put it. I don't know what the best direction is for any kind of thing. You'll probably find this is all dried out and nothing's going to happen. So, apologies for the anticlimax. Yeah, watch those eyes. Ah. Yeah, there's so many things that could go wrong right now, aren't there? I did have some eye protection in my previous lab, but I'm not sure. I think it's somewhere in amongst the cables or something, because I remember seeing it. Like seeing some glasses. Oh, you made me worry now. Fireworks outside. Watch those eyes. Use 60 volts. Safety police are downers. No eye protection. Engage safety squints. Ugh. I'll try and find something to wear then, but you've ruined it for everyone else because you've now made it late for the Europeans. I've got some sunglasses, but they live in the car. How about if I just don't look? Is that alright? There was this guy at work that was all getting really... I have a big capacitor on my desk just as decoration, and he was getting all sensitive, and he was telling me that he knew someone that had lost their eye, so I guess maybe it's a thing. Throw the switch outside the door. Connect. I don't have that much time. I can't spend the whole stream on this setup. I'll just have a good luck drink instead. It looks a bit green, that. It's meant to be Monster. Right, let's go for... The leads can't take much current, so we'll do current 5 amps. That is quite a lot, actually. Voltage 20. Is that going to do much? Guess we'll find out. I'm going to put the camera there. Hope it's not turning into an electro boom. This is a bit of an electro boom, isn't it? I just thought it would be a nice way to celebrate. Right, I'll turn this on. Don't worry, I'm not going to look. I'm going to watch it in the stream. Yay! That was not as exciting as I was hoping. And I tossed the capacitor out the window into my garden, so the fumes... Oh! Yeah, okay, the fumes aren't minimal. Let me sort the fumes out and then we'll get back to chatting. Just plug into the mains. I will be back shortly. my breath for a little bit. Actually, it doesn't smell that bad now. I think that was a bit of an old one. In my experience, the smaller ones blow up the best. Right. Let's see what chat we missed. And apologies for upsetting all the safety people. Happy New Year to the Europeans, by the way. I hope that was a very European way to celebrate with a little brown puddle. Oh, the microphone. So sorry if there's a bit more ambient noise now. We've got the fume extraction on and the window open. Capacitors. I'm really looking forward to your video on speed controller, electronic speed controller, like for brushless motor. I've got two on that kind of thing. I'll probably do a more sort of in-depth one at some point. I'd like to do one about silicon carbide because I've done a lot of work with silicon carbide in recent times. Fume extractor, capacitors. Blow up, Suscon. Yesterday I built my first Tesla coil. That's pretty cool. That's always a project I've kind of looked at but not done. But probably should do. Fireworks outside. Eyes. Eye protection. No, I mentioned it in the last stream as well, but every time I've done a stream, I've lost subscribers while I've been streaming. So I wonder if anyone is going to unsubscribe now because I've not worn glasses. I'm trying to not say anything controversial in the streams, but I think saying anything unscripted is enough to lose subscribers. Time is fake. It's New Year's somewhere. Exactly. Tantalums aren't boring. Tantalums. I think I've got some. Like yellow ones. Oh, I'll turn the light off again. Now it's getting cold in my room. Maybe we need a less gassy way to celebrate UK New Year. What can I blow up that's a bit less dangerous? Resistor. I like burning resistors. Are the fumes from those bad? Slow-mo guys. Yeah, they did a video with capacitors, didn't they, at some point? Didn't watch it. I was listening on speakers and the sound levels between when you're near the mic is super big. Clip-on mic. Are you saying that just for this stream or in the videos as well? Because for the stream, I don't really care, to be honest. Yeah, what happened to photonic induction? Yeah, I know. My guy is just so like come and go. It's very distressing, as one of many fans of his. Yeah, because he came back and did a whole "I'm back" thing, and then did like 5 videos or something, and then disappeared again. I remember reading a comment that on a YouTube video where someone said they'd seen him leave a comment on another YouTube video saying that he was going to come back again, and that was like a month or 2 ago. But yeah, he's great. I don't know how well suited he is to sort of modern YouTube though, but I'm sure he could make it work if he does come back. I think it might even appeal more now because he's so kind of old school. I'm from Chile and I am a technician in electronics and I will leave the stream. Bye. Thank you for your content. Very fun. Happy New Year. Silicon carbide is sick. It sure is. I want to see some research video. Some video research about GaN. Yeah. GaN's really cool. I mean, for applications I'm interested in, it's not very good. Yeah, GaN's definitely interesting. It's quite interesting that it's almost seeing more use in consumer stuff than it is in like professional stuff. I know it's used in some professional equipment, but it's kind of like it's being trialed on things like phone chargers and whatever. I guess also, like, I don't know, the military, for example. Military's a bad example actually, but like a lot of businesses and things don't really care if something's half the size and like a lot smaller, whereas people's phone chargers, they do. But I don't know. Yeah, it is a bit weird because I was talking to some people at TDK who make like a lot of different power supplies, and they said they haven't even touched GaN, but they couldn't really answer why. I think it just hasn't really been proven reliable yet. But it's weird because silicon carbide's not that much older, and that's in a lot of things now. Can you do a video on constant current loads and comparing circuits that use a MOSFET as the variable resistance against circuits that use op amps and resistors? Sorry, that was badly read. Yeah, I'd like to do a video about like loads or something at some point, because I've got that Kikasui load, which is really nice. I've been loaned that for some videos. I mentioned it in the last video, but I'll probably have to return that soon. So yeah, I know EEV Blogs said before that a load is a very good project to do, which makes sense. I guess it probably is. I'll resubscribe, sorry. Yeah, you should be. Yes, a GaN video would be cool. Because I've got the tiny little... I've got the tiny little GaN power supply that I mentioned or showed and mentioned in my switch mode power supply video, which has lots of views. Because then I said in that video, do you want me to do a video about the GaN? And loads of people said yes. And I've been sort of mulling over it for ages. Because I was thinking, if I did a video about this, it's just exactly the same. Like, well, it's not exactly the same, but the majority of it's going to be the same. It's the same topology as the old converter. So I thought it wouldn't be a very good video. So I was kind of just hoping people would forget it. But then thinking about it more, I was like, it would be quite interesting actually. And then I thought the obvious thing, why don't I just compare it to the other one? Because then I don't have to go over the whole thing again. I'm just going over the differences. The other problem with this is that because they've packed it into this tight little cube of components, I can't reverse engineer it or show it on video without taking it apart. And this has pride of place on my cool things shelf over there, so I didn't want to take it apart. So I've bought another one, and I'm going to show that one in the video. We'll strip this one apart. So there will be a video at some point in the future comparing that to a non-GaN version. I think I might even sort of run them under load, do thermal tests, things like that, because a lot of people say, like, this is only a quarter the size because it lasts 10 times less time, but the temperature will be a big giveaway of that. If this runs hot, then it won't live very long. But the packaging is really nice on it. And it's this specific Anchor model that I get because I watched, there's a YouTube channel called Charger Lab, I think, and they do teardowns of a lot of these sort of GaN chargers and power supplies. And almost all of them are kind of potted with this horrible gloopy stuff, apart from this Anchor one. So that's why I buy this, because I don't want to have to like scrape it off and then you can't see part numbers and things like that. There's a little bit sort of in between, like gluing the components together, but this is definitely the best one I know of. You basically just like kind of rip the pins off the plug and then you can just pull this out. So yeah, That's the GAN. What is your favourite film? I think I answered that in a previous stream, and I think my answer would probably be different because I've got a bad memory. Probably The Departed, if that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Yes. The Departed is like an action movie with Matt Damon and some other people. Oh, so much chat. Sorry, I'm really far behind now. Let's try and speed through. Subscribers of video channel don't like live streams generally. Yeah, I kind of wonder whether they just unsubscribe because they get the notification. Like, it could just be that. They just think, oh, I don't want this guy to live stream. Yeah, it could be that. That's one reason why I try not to do too many live streams, because I think people get kind of annoyed by them. You should have separate streaming channels. Ugh. You're miles ahead of me. I was thinking about that. But then, I think the worry is if I did it, like I'll put a thing out on my Instagram and maybe on the Discord saying I'm going to do a live stream. But if I only got like 3 viewers, the live stream is going to be really bad if I haven't got people in the chat. So I think if I got my second channel up to like a few K subs, then I'd be a bit more confident doing one on that. But there is, I think it's called Electric Byte, so I was going to put little clips of videos up, but I haven't really got around to doing that. Would love for you to show your favourite features of your measurement tools, like oscilloscope. I'm trying to think how I'd do that in a video that people would actually want to watch. That might be a sort of a live stream thing more. Blow a cap with a magnetron. I've got a box of magnetrons. I think that's also at my parents', because I had a phase of going to the dump, my local dump, and taking people's microwaves they'd thrown away and taking them apart and then returning to the tip with all the cool bits removed. I loved his Mercury rectifier. Oh, I'd love a Mercury arc rectifier. Yeah, he had quite a lot of cool stuff. Just like some like cool light bulbs and things as well, or lamps. Excuse favourite. Have a good night, everybody, and Happy New Year. You too, Larry. Happy New Year from Germany. I hope you enjoyed the brown capacitor, not very explosion. Ever considered making an EDM? Like an EDM beat? Or EDM like the machining? Or is there a third EDM? I like the EDM music. I think that's probably the one I'd make if I could. I tried. Not good. Please review the best switch mode voltage regulator. 7805 format. Yeah, there are some like I definitely remember using like a through-hole drop-in replacement for a 7805 regulator, and it was switching for something a few years ago. But I'm not sure it was any good. I think the input voltage range might have been quite limited or something like that. There was some issue with it. Happy New Year from Germany too. Quite a few from Germany. Have to go. Bye, Nicholas. Everyone has to go. But we've still got some people watching, that's the main thing. GAN still needs a lot of work and needs more complicated circuit. Yeah, I think it does need more work, doesn't it? I think it's more complex than silicon carbide to make work. Good morning from Brisbane, Australia. Is that how you say it? It sounds wrong. Brisbane? It is very quiet here this morning, so I'm guessing a few sore heads around. Happy New Year. Yeah, because New Year's, like, people do things. They socialise, don't they? That's why I thought I'd do this. This is me socialising for New Year's. Speaking of which, I need to top up my non-alcoholic energy drink. I spotted at my local corner shop, they had this, which is like a bottle of Monster. It's quite cool. It's not glass, sadly, but apart from that, it's good. Except it's £5, and it's the same volume as a normal can, which is like £1.50. Don't show this to the Red Bull people. They won't be very happy. Let's put this there. Sick versus GAN FETs. Yeah, I was thinking. I have done some plans for a video comparing silicon MOSFETs, IGBTs, silicon carbide MOSFETs, and GAN FETs. But they're not particular. Especially silicon carbide versus GAN. You can do silicon carbide versus IGBT, or maybe GAN versus standard MOSFET, but they're not really comparable. Like the lowest voltage SiC is the same as the highest voltage GAN, or maybe even higher. So they're not really in the same class. But probably in the same class of coolness. Australians get New Year's first. Oh yeah, of course. I was thinking it was Japanese, but is Australia ahead of Japan, or is it the same? And then there's other places around there as well, isn't there? Where's China? Is that? I guess that's probably like an hour behind Japan. My geography's not good. DU code, like low-level stuff. Nothing lower than C. Yeah. Use the YouTube card. What does that mean? I know what a card is in a video, but you can't add them to the stream, can you? Or are you wanting me to give you an ad? I'll try and hold out. I think it's New Zealand. Wire EDM machining. Is that something people can... Have you seen... Is that a project people make? Because I've played with some EDM, like, machined things before, you know, and they just fit perfectly. They're quite nice. I think it'd be quite a cool, like, channel intro if you got your name cut out with EDM, and then the intro is just it sinking down into, like, a block of aluminium or whatever. At what age and how did you get into electronics? I don't remember what age, as in very young. I'd have to ask my parents, but it wasn't like a thing where I was like thinking, oh, what should I do in life? And then I thought, oh, electronics seems interesting. It's like as long as I can remember, it's been electronics. I don't really know why, but yeah. So I don't know how either. But like even all the crap I've got in my lab, most of this I've had, or not most, but there's a decent amount of it I've had longer than I can remember, so I don't know where it's from. It's just like I don't really remember anything before kind of maybe like 8 years ago, and that's a bit foggy. I've recently come across your videos, and your natural explanations have made me interested in studying electrical engineering. What advice would you give someone starting an EE degree? If it's the same, if it's the same as it was for me, you should make the most of like the lecturers and things, because I guess like some places uni will be free, but in the UK you pay for uni, which I guess that's probably more common. And like most of the people on my course, most of them don't come to lectures, and if they do, they'll sort of sit at the back of the lecture, play on their phone a bit, and then just leave. But you're paying all this money for the expertise of the people at the uni. I think that's a big part of it. So personally, even if it's a module I'm not very into, I'll go and just like bombard them with questions, and not like saying what's going to be on the exam, but saying like, oh, you talked about such and such. I've heard of such and such. Are these related? And make the most of the teachers. That's how I've learned. Most of my learning in the last like 3 or 4 years has been from conversations with people. not kind of books or anything else. So that would be my recommendation. And it's very it's very cool to see that I've sort of inspired someone potentially to do electronics, because that's kind of like my goal. Is it seems to be kind of going out of fashion a bit, or I think it kind of already has gone out of fashion, this discipline, and obviously I'm very fashionable, so I thought if I show me doing electronics, then people will want to be like me. So yeah, very fashionable. I'd like to see more on grid-tied inverter concept, something that could be done in the garden with a solar panel in case the smoke comes out. You just reminded me to unplug something. Right, unplugged. Yeah, I'd like to do a video. It's a tricky thing to do a video on, because like in this country you've got to be like registered or have, I think, well, yeah, you've got to do something to be allowed to pump energy back into the grid. But I'm sure they wouldn't mind a small amount if I did it for a video. So I was thinking about doing that, like through a transformer, so you've got maybe 24 volts AC instead of mains, and it's isolated. And then, because the next video is going to be on power factor correction, active power factor correction, and really, if you make it with a half bridge or full bridge or whatever, if you run it in reverse, then that's your grid tie inverter with some clever control. So it would probably make sense for me to do a video on that at some point. So I probably will do a video on grid tie inverters, but it's a tricky one because I'd have to do a lot of disclaimers saying, like, even though you might know how to make it, maybe don't, because it's quite dangerous pumping energy the wrong way in some scenarios. You are streaming late for the EU. Late as in because I've missed New Year, or late just because it's late? Because we did a celebration. We had a brown runny puddle of capacitor gloop to celebrate Europe's contribution to the year. I don't mean that in any rude way. I don't follow Europe much. I don't know what's going on in the world. But it is kind of late, yeah. I normally go to bed long before this. But I thought we should all celebrate together, because I thought I'm lonely on New Year, and probably some other nerds are too, so we can all be lonely together. Happy New Year from Nigeria. Good night, everyone. Good night. Where's Nigeria? Nigeria. Oh, I know it's in Africa. I mean, where there? Let's maps, but I don't need to drive there. Whew. Oh, it's not actually time zone. I guess time zone must be the same as Europe. It's a long way away, though. Monster is full of caffeine, and I got mad come downs. Start running, exercising, and using creatine instead. Was creatine good for you? I'm not sure. I thought I'd heard things about that. I run a bit. I now go everywhere in shorts and running shoes, so I can spontaneously run when I feel like it. So I run to work sometimes. Because when you're wearing shorts and it's like 2 degrees outside, you kind of have to. And I apologise for the caffeine, but I thought people probably wouldn't want to watch me if I was like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. So I'm sacrificing myself for you guys with all this caffeine. Also, I work at Red Bull, and they might have free Red Bulls at work, so I might have quite a high caffeine intake. A few wire EDM build videos. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess you've got to do all the stuff to move the wire. Do they move the wire, or do they move the thing? I guess they probably move the wire. That all sounds quite complicated, all the CNC shenanigans. Anyone studying EE degree, better work on the math. It's all math. It seems to be, yeah, it seems to be quite maths heavy at uni, but I'm not very experienced in the world of work, but from what I have experienced, it seems like none of it's actually really used once you finish uni. Also, the maths comes naturally if you know like all the concepts, I think. At least in power electronics, because I think that's kind of simple compared to like RF stuff. That's always my counterexample. That's terrifying. My background is in machining, material science, and electronics, so I get you. I want to discover how things are made. Yeah. I had a similar experience at uni. It was sad not being able to hear the lecturer over people talking about random other stuff. Yeah, I'm always that one weird person that sits at the front. So, like, right at the front. And then in the break, sometimes the lecturer will come over and chat to me. It's very nice. I definitely talk to teachers more than students, because, I mean, if they're just chatting, like, it seems like the only thing I can learn from them is what happened at the club last night, and I'm not that kind of person. You're a great teacher. Thank you. You're a great viewer. Few people want to do hardware electronics. Yeah, I know. I went to a club for years, and it's now all programmers. Yeah, my course at uni is sort of in two halves, or not. They're not really halves, but you've got triple E, so electrical and electronic engineering, and then you've got ECE, which is electronic and computer engineering, or I can't remember. The C stands for something like computers, and basically everyone is on this ECE course. So in the first I think like 2 or 3 years the course is the same, and then once you get to like the optional modules, they all just pick programming and do as little hardware as possible, and they've just got no interest in hardware. They're like, yeah, it should be a separate degree, I think, because like we'll have to do a group hardware project, and there's a little bit of code, and you just end up with 90% of the group all wanting to do code. It's weird how people are kind of scared of hardware. I mean, Arduinos are great, but I kind of blame them a bit for that. Is like when everything's just plug and play, designing the hardware becomes a bit of a lost art. Electronics is a great hobby regardless what you do. I'm actually mechanical. Yeah, I know quite a few mechanical people that do like electronics as a hobby and things. It seems to be more that way than the other way around. Not sure why. Speaking of active PFC, I think my most recent salvage from a TV has an active PFC. Yeah, I haven't. That's cool, because I've got a decent collection of power supplies, and none of them have PFC. I think it's because they're all too low power, because I've been reading up on it for the active PFC video, and I think in Europe, basically, if it's more than 75 watts, it has to have some form of PFC, pretty much always going to be active. But below that, like the power supplies I showed in the switch mode power supply video, they're just all rectifiers straight into the cap, no PFC at all, which is annoying. What has been your favourite / most interesting video you've made? Probably, let me have a quick look at what videos I've made. It's probably one of my slightly older ones, to be honest, because I've kind of done the whole YouTube thing in three bursts. I made a whole load of videos 5 years ago when I first made the channel. They were really bad. They're unlisted, but they're in a playlist if anyone wants to watch them. Then a year and a half ago I did some others, and then now I've done some others, and these ones have really taken off. I think probably the most interesting videos, the capacitor one was quite interesting actually, because that was basically something I wanted to do, was just buy a load of capacitors, put them on the LCR meter, and just see how they perform. So that was a pretty interesting one. Yeah, I think the ones where I'm kind of discovering things along with you guys, they're probably my favourite. If it's something that I already know and I'm just teaching, like I really enjoy the process of making them and coming up with coming up with ways to explain them nicely. But I think my favourite thing to do is learn. So if it's a video about something I'm not already familiar on, they'll probably be my favourite. And I've got quite a few more of them in the works. I've got a few where I'm going to be sort of like buying things and comparing them, or like doing tests I want to do because I can't find, like if there's a question I have and I can't find the answer online, I'll just buy the bits, test it, make a video about it. Then it will be online. They might not be the most popular, but yeah. Electrical and thermal and mechanical FEA simulations all ties together. Yeah, it's important to know all of them a bit. Not sure I really do, but with time I will. You were saying people were quitting. It's because it's late in the EU. It's not that late. What is it? 12:30. I don't think that's too late for young folk. I don't stay up that late though. Creatine gives a 10% increase in performance when lifting heavy objects. It sounds like some kind of a boost in a game. You find the creatine item and you get a 10% increase in strength for 10 minutes or something. Doesn't that just fill all your muscles with water though? So you look really strong, but you're not. There's quite a few people at work that do a lot of gym stuff, and they're all like super big arms and things, but you wonder whether they can do whether they're strong in any movement apart from just the particular movements they do at the gym, because I know you get people that like actually do, I don't know, work in a mine or something, and they're way stronger than these gym people, but I don't know. I'm a runner too, but needing a pacemaker recently got in the way. Oh, that's annoying. I bet it does. I presume that gets in the way of projects as well, surely. I know there's a lot of, well, definitely power electronics. There's a lot of things you can't really, or you shouldn't really do with a pacemaker. Or if you've got a special shielded one, that'd be quite cool. It's not like the half-life of caffeine is 6 hours. Oh, I'll be asleep in a lot less than that, don't worry. If you drink it just before bed, you wake up with loads of energy. This is just excellent. I've realised that my face goes a bit weird when I'm reading, so I'm going to try and keep moving around so I don't look too weird while I'm reading. It's quite hard to read, actually. Other students will suddenly become your friend before tests. I know, it's terrible. It's annoying because I like helping people. If someone like messages me and just says, I don't know, yeah, capacitor ESRs on the test. Can you explain that to me? Or like, I'm not sure about this. Or if they ask me for help, I'm happy. But when they try and like be all nice first and do like small talk, it's like, you've never spoken to me before, and then you suddenly say like, "Hey, how are you?" It's like, no, just go straight to asking me for help. I'd prefer that. Because yeah, I had a girl like a year or two ago who is like the popular girl on my course, and we've never spoken or anything, but she followed me on Instagram, and then she like DM'd me, and she was like, "Hey, I've been watching your YouTube videos. I love them. Like so educational or something." And I was just sort of thinking, are you about to ask me for help with the coursework? I didn't say that. And then then I said like, thanks. And then the next message was, yeah, just something like, what did you do for this in the coursework? And it's like, oh, just spare me the fake compliments, please. I'm a bit of a Scrooge though, I apologise. I think that's another reason people don't like my streams. People and students are scary. Yeah, I know. Teachers, some of them are nice. Like some of them are not scary. But some of them are. As someone who builds servers on their spare time, it's a shame people are afraid of hardware. I know. It's weird. I don't know whether it's got something to do with everyone playing all these video games and things now. They're just scared of the world, scared of having to move things and see things. Have to go as well. Thanks for the stream, man. It's alright. Thanks for joining. I think you saw the image for it I sent on Discord before. What did you say? Oh, yeah, the PFC. Yes, I did. I remember. I'm almost done with my CS degree. I guess that's computer science. With my computer science degree, but I wish I'd chosen EE. Hopefully I can still get into that field somehow. I think you probably can, because I think if you're watching this and you've watched videos and you're saying that, it sounds like you're already probably more interested than 90% of people that do this degree. So hopefully, I think hopefully employers are looking for interest as well as just tick, I have the degree. So yeah, if you keep watching YouTube videos, then you'll probably be able to answer more technical questions than people who've done the degrees. It keeps jumping to the bottom when I'm trying to scroll. I see more people saying bye, which is not good. You should make a starting your own lab video that helps to help newbies get started. I think you would do a good job. I don't know if I would, because I'd have to talk to some other people or something to get the experience of people that are starting a lab. Because for me, it was never like, I'm gonna make an electronics lab now, and then you've got to go out and buy all the bits. It just kind of happened. My whole house and life just turned into lab. So I never really went through the process of right, I need this, I need that for the lab. So yeah, I'd have to think about what things to prioritize. I think for me, definitely a scope. A scope is the number one thing. I think I would almost say I'd go for a scope over a multimeter, because there's not a lot of electronics where you're not looking at signals changing. I mean, even an analog scope, probably I had, for at least a year, I had just a single channel analog scope, sort of CRT one. That was probably I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. But yeah, you don't need it to be accurate or modern. That was from the 60s. And if you're gonna get a digital one, get one of these Rigels, because everyone's got them. There's loads of stuff online how to use them. They're pretty cheap. I think there's I don't know, 250 quid maybe or something, which I know is a lot for a lot of people, but compared to what most other scopes cost, it's very cheap. I was the class straight A nerd and had plenty of friends. Yeah, I think being able to explain things is a very kind of important and good, handy skill to have. Yeah, the number of people you have that, well, it's even the number of teachers that you interact with that are clearly knowledgeable, but they're just really bad at explaining things. I get people at work that have designed some converter or circuit or something, and I'll kind of ask them a question about how it works, and they're explaining it, but just in a really kind of convoluted, complicated way. I think how you explain things is probably quite affected by how you learned it. So yeah. Sorry, I'm getting even further behind on the chat. I will leave a bit after 12 once we've celebrated UK New Year. Do you want to do any teardown videos? Maybe. I prefer to have a bit of preparation for the videos, and I think teardown works best in the kind of live, unscripted, tear it down. Ooh, what's this? What's that? But as you can tell from the live streams, I'm not very good if I'm not. If I haven't, it's not necessarily a script, but the ability to go back and edit out all of these pauses. I suppose you could do the same with a teardown. I like watching teardown videos, definitely, but I don't think I've got enough experience to do a teardown video. Like a teardown video by someone who's like got like 30 or 40 years experience. They're really good because every single little thing they see, they go, "Oh, that's a such and such," and then tell you all about it. Like for me, sometimes because I'm quite young and inexperienced in a way, that it still happens sometimes that I'll like look at a circuit and then have to Google something and look it up. And I guess people do that in teardowns too, but whatever. I like the setting in the old videos, it's fitting. Yeah, that was... So the oldest videos would be at like home with my parents. And then the videos from like a year and a half ago were in my house at uni. And then obviously I now live where I work. This is probably the best lab setup I've had. I think it's going to keep improving. I'm hoping to have a bigger lab next year, because this one is kind of the whole of my house. So I spend most of my time in an office chair at home, which is a bit sad. Hey, Happy New Year. I recently found your channel. Happy New Year to you too. I think you're not alone. And I think I've already said those exact words. Happy New Year. Earlier today, you might have said it before. But you might have said it before, but hat formal knowledge. Oh, but what formal knowledge do you have in electronics? Best regards, 22 years old. You're about the same age as me. Computer engineering student. I'm not sure what you mean by formal knowledge. Could you clarify? Thank you. I'm sure I am 3 times your age and I learn a lot from you. I think that's probably... I don't know why that is. Thank you very much, though. I think I've got quite a good brain for like sponging information, but I think probably most of you have better brains for remembering things like people's birthdays or having the ability to interact with other humans. Been fun. Oh, gotta go. See you in the next video. Goodbye, Jay. Everything is a magical... scroll down. Everything is a magical box to people now. Kids don't even know how to plug in a cable or a computer mouse because of Bluetooth and touch screens. Yeah, I know. It's. I try not to think about it too much because it's just a bit sad. Yeah. WCRT oscilloscope. Yeah, definitely. I had... In the videos I did a little while ago, you might see I had 2 CRT scopes in my previous lab setup. But I never really used them. They were just there for aesthetics. And I have quite limited space here, so I'm afraid they're at my parents' now. But I think I've got more than 10 CRT scopes because I see them at these sales and they're like 10 quid and they look so cool. And I just keep buying them and it's a terrible problem I've got. So I've stopped going to these sales now because I just bought all of them. But one day I'd like to have them all in the background of the videos, so I'll do like an intro and say, hey guys, we're talking about whatever, and in the background you've got this like big rack of CRT scopes all displaying wiggly wobbly lines. I think that would be quite cool. What do you think about Feng Shui? I don't know what that is, sorry. Rigol's are like €300, but a Keysight of similar spec is over 1k. Yeah, I know, and I bet that Keysight, that's probably for a 2-channel Keysight as well. Like, the Rigol's are a very good price. The new one's nice as well. Well, it looks a bit like a toy. I'm not sure about the new one, really. It kind of looks a bit like a toy. It's very small, but it's higher bandwidth, it's 12-bit, and it's got a HDMI output, which is a big thing for me. Because if this stupid HDMI capture dongle actually worked, then I can get the scope footage, like capture the scope screen at high res, which is really nice. So I might get hold of one of the new ones at some point. Thanks for the videos. Your video editing is good. Thank you. I've never I've never like watched any. I've never like learnt learnt how to video edit at all. I just got Premiere, like Adobe Premiere Pro, and I just kind of mess around randomly clicking on things when I need to do something new. And I recently learnt, or just kind of found out how to do text on the screen that's not just that kind of like subtitles thing at the bottom, so that looks a lot nicer now. But yeah, it's very time consuming though. Like, because the older videos I used to just chop out all the pauses, shove it together and upload, but now there's just like loads of layers of B-roll on top, and then you've got text, and then I've got boxes appearing and disappearing, and I try and do loads of transitions to make it look a bit nicer. Yeah, it takes days to edit these videos now. So thank you for saying it's good, because I do try. Thank you for your explanations. Finding a good place to work is not that simple, and the UK is probably not the best place to be, TBH. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't want to leave though, because yeah, it's scary. It's a good place for motorsport, which is what I like. 7 of the 10 Formula 1 teams are based in the UK. So if that's what you want to do, it is the place to be. So your home is basically a repair shop. It is, except I don't really repair anything. I'd like to, but I don't really have the time. But it's got all the stuff that you'd need to repair things. It's nice that the videos are kind of have caught on recently, because now I actually have a use for all these components and things I've accumulated, instead of just playing with them in the evenings. Now I can play more. I can talk to myself in the same way I normally do, but people are enjoying it for some reason. Just mean education background, I understand. What is my education? Yeah, I didn't learn any electronics. Like, yeah, I wasn't taught any electronics until uni, because they don't. It's quite hard to do it at lower level than university in the UK now. My school used to teach it, but they stopped teaching it just before I got to that level, which is a bit annoying, because we went to that school because they were good at electronics, and then they were like, oh, sorry, no. But yeah, so education background is just uni, but I wouldn't say. I'd say a very small portion of my knowledge is from the uni course. It's mostly things I learned before, from YouTube, from playing around, from talking to the teachers about things, because the actual lectures are, I don't think, very useful. I miss old electronics design. Bring back the buttons. Yeah, I don't like, yeah, all these plug and play things. I love magical boxes. I know when the person, who was it? Yeah, everything is a magical box to people now. I kind of thought, like, I like the sound of magical box. I'd quite like things to be a magical box, to be honest. I kind of wish I could, like, for a day, not know how anything works and just be like, whoa. But then it's cool when you know as well. So not that I know how everything works. I just mean I know how. I don't not know how anything works. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. What other things do you like? Yeah. Not much. I have a bit of an obsession with trains at the moment. Mostly electric trains, so that's still kind of related. Yeah. Anything kind of vaguely engineering related, I find interesting. AI is amazing. At some point it's going to be of great help to us, coding, hardware design, etc. Although might put many of us out of a job. I think it'll be a while before AI can do hardware design. Famous last words. But the coding, it's already really good at that, isn't it? Quite scary. Hi, very good videos. You are well spoken, clear, funny and methodical. Just trying to get into the hobby. Brilliant. Keep trying. Because it's the best hobby. I find it funny as well when people say the videos are funny, because like occasionally I'll just put in something that's like slightly humorous, normally very like dry British humour. But yeah, I like see a comment where someone's like, "This video is so entertaining," and I'm like, "Man, there's like a 30-minute video talking about power supplies. Are you sure it was entertaining?" But yeah, I'm quite pleased that people enjoy it. It's a bit scary as so on this screen I've got OBS, I've got like actual live me, and then on this screen, because I've got the YouTube chat, I've got YouTube delayed by maybe like 30 seconds, and I keep seeing myself doing things I don't remember doing. Like I just saw myself kind of like doing this, but I don't remember ever doing that. It's quite scary. Hi, very good videos. No, I've already read that one. Keep up your good work. It's not sad to be alone if you're going after your objectives. Yeah, I agree. I'm like living alone and don't really talk to anyone at the moment apart from who I have to at work. But I'm like happy 90% of the time, probably more, because I'm just like so engrossed in doing these videos. And yeah, it's nice, the feeling of accomplishing things. I think it's probably nicer than most human interactions, at least for me. I'd rather be productive than talk to people. You talk to yourself before the videos. Yeah, because I used to just watch like tons of like Big Clive, and then I watched lots of EV blog and lots of YouTube videos. When I was younger, I'd just sit at the bench, and like quite a lot of the time it would be in my head, but I'd just be like pretending to be one of them, like pretending to be Big Clive and saying like, "Oh, these batteries are such and such," and like just kind of going through it. And I think that's probably why. That's probably a contributor to why I find like making the videos and explaining things kind of comes naturally. Is because I've kind of like been doing it on my own for ages. Did you think about making repairs, or is it just you have no time for it? No time for it. I've got no time for anything at the moment with work. The only thing I have time for is work, making videos and sleeping, maybe occasionally eating. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having more time available, because then I can do something like that, do repairs, or yeah, just have more time for the videos. I'd like to make videos more than once a month, which is kind of what I've slipped to at the moment. When I was a student in the 90s, the bookshop had lots of electronics books, a whole book devoted to physics and electronics. Now there is none. There used to be... Oh, I almost read that nicely. Then I got stuck. There used to be lots of electronics factories too. Yeah, I know. I guess the factories have all gone to sort of China and similar places, which isn't a problem. It means things are cheaper. Well, maybe it is a problem. I won't get into that. But yeah, like the books and yeah. That's what I mean. It just seems like a kind of dying art, like electronics and electronic design and things like that. Turtles ? I'm not sure what you mean. What do you think of SpaceX, Boston Dynamics, Unitree, etc.? I love that stuff. I'm not very up to date with them. I'll see the headlines. So like the SpaceX catching the ship, that was really cool. That was very impressive. We were kind of joking at work because we've got lots of like motor control algorithms and things, and we were just kind of joking about like, I bet they've got a few PID controllers there to like perfectly catch the spaceship. That was crazy. And the Boston Dynamics, so that's very cool as well, all the jumping robots and things. I haven't heard of Unitree. I get the humour better than music. Yeah, I've had quite a lot of comments saying like, so glad you don't have background music. And I was thinking like, What background music? But I have sort of noticed it in a few videos recently where people just feel the need to play music in the background. It's like, why? No one has clicked on this video to listen to music. Why are you playing music? I don't know whether they've just got like really bad microphones and they're covering the background noise or something, but yeah. Speaking of background noise, there's a lot of fireworks going off. Oh, it's because it's midnight. Happy New Year, everybody in the UK. I haven't blown up a capacitor yet, and I probably won't, but I will finish my drink. Woohoo! 2025! Yeah! You can tell I'm thrilled. I recently used ChatGPT to debug my code. I was amazed at some of the things it caught, but other things it led me in the wrong direction. Yeah, I think that's it at the moment. I think it's very good most of the time. It's good for reviewing your code at least. Train traction motor control would be interesting. Probably start with hobby 3-phase motors, soft starters, etc. Yeah, I want to do... There's a few like big topics I want to do more videos on, but I'm just not sure how well they'll do. Because I really like trains. I really, really, really like electric cars. But electric cars, like, it's a bit annoying because I don't want to go into like the environment or the batteries or anything like that. I just want to talk about the tech. But it feels like if I do anything about electric cars, there's people being like, "Oh, electric cars are terrible," and like, yeah, like I really, really want to buy an electric car and own an electric car and drive an electric car, but just because of the tech, not because of anything else. Like, I'm a fan of cars. I like changing gear. I like rev matching, all this stuff. But nothing. I like nothing more than electricity. So a car powered by my favourite thing. It's just so exciting. But yeah, I've got a big induction motor. Let's see if I can lift the laptop. It's going to be about here, but under the table there. You can kind of see it. There's a big green induction motor, which I use to test various things. Induction motors are definitely the nicest for just testing like an inverter or something, because you can do open loop so easily. But you could definitely do... Oh. What's happened? Is the stream okay? I think the stream's okay. It seemed to just crash briefly. Let's go up. Oh, there's loads of things. Sorry, I'll go a bit quicker. But yeah, induction motor, trains, fun. In the UK, apprenticeships are becoming a thing again. Yeah, the degree apprenticeships are really good, aren't they? I was going to do one at some point, but then I just kind of didn't. But yeah, also some universities are now pitch themselves as teaching practical knowledge. Yeah, I think my uni were like, it's something like we have a 50-50 split between theory and practical whatever. But I'm not sure. I don't know of any students, at least in this country, that think the course has actually been helpful for like, yeah, anything. Well, that's another reason why I make these videos, is I just think like, I don't like the fact that people have to pay all this money to go to uni to then not really learn anything useful. I think all knowledge should be available to everyone. But I don't know. I did that when I wanted to be a chef. Pretending you have an audience is helpful. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it helps you like phrase things, even though I don't do a very good job at that when I'm live. I really loved your linear power supply video. Kinda wild that I'm in my 3rd year of uni and nobody really explained to us how that stuff works. I know. I finished my 3rd year last year, and most of that we were never taught. It's just kind of shocking. It's like, you're there for 3 years. It's like, what are they teaching you? That's, yeah, I like to try and do that in my videos, just like this, like, I don't know, teach what they're not teaching, when no one really knows why. It's just strange. The linear power supply video is probably the one I'm happiest with in terms of the way it's come out, like all the boards plugging together, the different colours and everything. It was just a really nice video, I thought. Very helpful and insightful content. Congrats and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, thank you. 1 minute to go. So I'm 6 minutes behind. I'm definitely a no music guy. Yeah, is there anyone watching that likes background music, that wants it in a video, that watches mine and think, you know what this video is really missing is some music. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, yep. You need to kill a super cap. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I might be a little bit too tired to blow up a cap now. Also, it's a bit... yeah, whatever. You just gave me an idea. Blowing up caps for the new year. I'm in the US. Still have a few hours to go. Yep, you do. Find the biggest cap you can find and solder a plug onto it. Please don't do that. Background music is part of the experience. Sometimes it's great. It's great whenever my subscriptions use it. Are you sure? Have we found someone that likes it? But then you've got to find like royalty-free background music as well. Because I made my own tune to have as the background music for these videos. Yeah, I'd quite like to ask my past self why I wanted background music actually. But anyway, I made this song that was really basic, and then I just looped it, so it was like 3 hours long, so it would fit any video I made. And if you watch the oldest videos, so the only one that's still public and not hidden in that playlist is the metal halide lamp one. You'll hear that music in the background, and you might recognise it as my outro music, because I got rid of that like music through the video, background music, and then shortly after that, that was when my friend made the wonderful intro and outro in Adobe After Effects. And the intro just uses some sound effects that I got, like servo motor sound effects. But the outro, I thought, if I don't have the background music anymore, I might as well pay tribute to this brilliant song. So I remixed it into a much sort of more jingly outro. So there's no kind of like full-length version of that or something. Because I had someone email me and they were like, man, that outro song, it's so good, but I can't find it anywhere. I've used all these different SoundCloud and whatever, these apps. What is that song? And I was like, it's my song. But, yeah, anyway, that's the end of that story. Oh, there's loads of people talking about background musics now. I've opened a can of worms. Happy New Year from Ben, top commenter everybody. Electric cars use a lot of nickel. They do. Stream is fine here. Yes, great. Have you done much soldering at uni? We have done a bit. The problem is when they say hands-on and like practical stuff at uni, they mean soldering with not very good equipment, probably. Very healthy solder, so it's obviously lead-free, it's got no like rosin in the flux, it's like basically the worst solder you can get with bad soldering equipment. And then to make it at all possible, they have to use massive old through-hole components. So it means people can finish their undergrad degree and not know what a modern capacitor looks like. You show them an electrolytic with the cylinder and the leads, and they're like, that's a capacitor. You show them a multi-layer ceramic, and they're like, I've never seen one of those before. What's that? It's tricky, because like I'm sure many lecturers show them on a slide, and when they're talking about capacitors, and they say this is what a multi-layer ceramic looks like, but people won't take it in unless they're actually soldering them. But then people can't solder them at uni because it's definitely not as easy as through-hole. And I think uni's I think even unis know that soldering isn't really a necessary skill these days, to sort of go into design engineering at least. So they're not going to invest a lot of time teaching people how to solder beautifully surface mount stuff. I talk with myself all the time. I've become really good at it. It helps a lot to process thoughts. Yeah. So do I. I definitely this year as well, because I've been sort of alone a lot more this year than I have in the past. Like, I'll even just be walking to work and I'll like see a bird and I'll go, "Morning, bird," and like if anyone sees me, they're gonna think I'm right weird. But yeah, not even talking to myself anymore. Just talking to anything or anyone. Well, yeah, anything that isn't a person, I'm happy to talk to. And with the videos as well, I try not to make them too scripted. But normally, if I've got a video idea, I'll then go on a big walk, take my phone, put it on like notes and then dictation, and then I'll just basically go on a walk and just say like, basically talk to myself about how something works. So I'll say like capacitors have ESR. This is equivalent series resistance. This gets in the way of charging and discharging the capacitor, and like that kind of stuff. Dictation is terrible. There's so many words that it just refuses to acknowledge as existing. So I get back and then have to spend like an hour trying to work out what it all meant. And also, the moment it starts raining, the phone has a hissy fit. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess that's halfway between talking to myself and not. Like the linear power supply video, pretty much the whole script of that, I just did a massive walk and said the whole thing to my phone. Hi, big fan of your explanations. Are you planning to launch any electronics courses? If I had the time, I would just do it on the YouTube channel. I don't like the idea of people having to pay for it. It could make me more money, but I don't really care. The videos already make enough to pay for themselves, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all they need to do. So when I have more time, I will make more videos that will be more like a course, but not in a boring way. But yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna I might make a Patreon, I might put things on it, but I'm really hoping that future me doesn't say like, pay £5 a month to join my whatever and learn electronics in a different and effective way, which is what some people say. No, I love the videos not having any music. Great. There are videos that benefit from background music, but yours probably wouldn't. Yeah, because I think also because I cut down the talking so much, it's not like background music would be filling in any pauses. Like generally the videos are just continuous talking, which I'm aware does make them a bit fast-paced for some people. Also loved the switch mode power supply video. Embarrassed to admit that I never knew they existed. Well, you do now. That's the main thing. I'm not going to judge anyone for anything they know or don't know. I don't think that's productive at all. I'll judge the people if you like. Yeah, if you like have finished uni and you don't know something, I'll judge the people that were supposed to teach it to you, not you. Because I think in my 3 years of uni so far, I don't think they've mentioned switch mode power supplies. They've mentioned bits, but they haven't mentioned them. Background music, actually that's a lie, they have. Background music depends on the type of video. Education, I'll leave it out. But you're all very keen to talk about background music. Background music is mostly awful. I probably agree with that. Intro and outro theme music is fine, but please don't use background music under your narration. Don't worry, I won't. Do a poll on background music, of course. Let's try that. What is this? Add goal. Is that like a super chat thing? Pick a goal. Choose the super chat colours that count. Blimey, it's all about money, isn't it? See, I can say, sorry, I just saw this thing suggested to me. I can say that I want a goal of 10 super chats in the next 30 minutes. They've got to be more than £5 to count. And the example of how I'll celebrate is I'll host a Q&A session. This is terrible. Oh my god. 50 super chats, that's an option. I can make it so that I only count super chats £100 or more. Blimey. Right, let's try and find poll. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Background music. Yes? No. Let's say background music for my style of video. Go! The poll has been uploaded. It is now raining down on you from the cloud. No music. Benefits. Do a poll. In a big company, all the soldering is done by technicians. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you say, it's a very good thing to know, and you should know it, but you don't need to know it. How to do it. Do you listen to audiobooks? No. The closest I have is I listen to a lot of podcasts, but not like self-improvement ones. I listen to a lot of Formula One podcasts. So there's a few different podcasters, if that's what you'd call it. Right, just sort of listen to them, just staying up to date with the news, and if there's like a race, it's interesting to hear different people's opinions on whose fault a crash was and that kind of thing. Because I walk to work every day, so I have quite a lot of time to listen to that kind of thing. I just remembered why I subscribed to you, because you're awesome. What am I doing on the stream that's awesome? The stream's just me talking. At least with the videos, it's a good use of your time. You're hopefully learning things. So the stream, you're just watching me randomly laughing at myself. IPC Tech here. Teaching THT versus SMD does take a different level. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to deny that SMD is harder. Yeah, because I was talking to the technicians at my uni, who I get on with quite well, and last time I saw them, one of them was essentially, they were saying like, there's someone in the year below you that can solder surface mount really nicely, and like they were just like really excited that in like the 10 years or something they'd worked there, they'd found a student that can solder well, and yeah, I guess that kind of shows it. They were probably using lead solder though. That does. I always like think I'm pretty good at soldering until I try and use like the solder they have at uni, and I'm like, oh, it's actually quite tricky this. But just because I've got like the leadiest, fluxiest solder at home, everything just flows perfectly and looks really nice. Is that a series of vodka bottles? Oh fuck! I mean, oh no. Yeah, I don't really drink much, but they looked nice, and there was a period a little while ago when I was drinking quite a lot more. I don't really like drinking though. I don't know. If alcohol was invented now, it would be illegal. That's all I'll say. Please don't judge me. I like relegating some tasks like soldering. Also, I didn't drink them all alone. Someone else had more of it than me. I like relegating some tasks like soldering. It's an art when well done. Yeah, definitely. Just review things that are interesting to you. Like product reviews and things. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm most interested in... Yeah, getting given free things to review is normally something I'm turning down a lot of, well, not a lot, but quite a few emails saying, we'll give you this whatever to review, and I'm like, no, the review's boring. Like, I want that thing, but I'll just pay for it if I want it. Then I don't have to review it. So, yeah, I think probably if it's something like a startup, that's an example of when I'd be a lot more interested in reviewing to kind of like promote something I like. But, yeah, anyway. Happy New Year. Do you have a channel for fixing electronics such as LEDs, security lights, work lights? No, I don't really do anything on repairs, I'm afraid. It's more about kind of understanding and design and things, at the moment at least. Your bottles in the kitchen are empty, yes. You make some of the most information-dense and intuitive educational content out there. Cheers from Canada. Thank you, Canada. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm always very surprised when people say these nice things. The poll has been up for a while, but I can only see one of... Oh, here we go. 84% say no background music. So that is conclusive. Anyone who says yes is wrong. End poll. Thank you very much for participating in my poll. I should do more polls. Suggest more polls, people. I'm not a big fan of background music. Can you put music on the poll? I did. I was into F1 30 years ago. Also, Indy racing. Zanardi were my fave. Yeah, F1 has definitely changed a lot since then. I think there's quite a few people that like were into it. It's very mainstream now. Okay, your knowledge and videos are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I never know what to say. I keep up with F1 too. It was a great season this year. I'm trying to read them nicely, but I just keep stumbling. Didn't you mention in one video your uni has a formula project or something? Yeah, we do Formula Student, so a lot of unis in Europe do it. I think in America as well, but they call it Formula SAE. And it's basically the same thing. But yeah, it's like the uni team, so you've got like mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. Most of the cars, it's building a little race car. Most of them are electric now, which I think's good. Even if you don't like electric cars, if they're building a petrol race car, there's a lot less for electrical students to do. So by making it electrical, then you can get more disciplines included in the project. But yeah, Formula Student is where like most people that work in Formula One did Formula Student, most younger people. And maybe not so much from the UK, but the students from like these German technical institutes and things, they're so smart, and they've got so much knowledge from Formula Student mostly. There's a lot of them at work. Yeah, it's crazy the kind of stuff they get up to. They've got like it's basically just like mini F1 teams. They've got like hundreds of thousands, even millions of euro budgets each year, and they're like designing everything to be really lightweight. It's really impressive. The UK is a bit less. Well, it's the UK. You can probably imagine what it's like. I like the Red Flags podcast. I haven't listened to that one. I listened to the Race F1 podcast, which is quite boring. It's my kind of thing. I listen to Matt and Tommy as well, just for a bit of less boringness. Will you cover ARM microprocessors? At the moment, I seem to be mostly doing power electronics, so I'm probably going to stick to that for the foreseeable. But I would like to do a wider sort of remit, if that's the right word, of videos at some point. I'm not sure. I think ARM is far enough, is sort of a bit too far away from my knowledge at the moment. I don't think it would be a very good video. I think there's definitely a lot of people that would do a better video. But ARM is very cool. Definitely. I discovered your YouTube channel a few months ago. Your videos are well made. I'm trying to add in a very there on my own just to make it even better. Your videos are well made. I'm a fan. Thank you very much. New to electronics hobby. Learned a lot from your videos. Thank you. Oh no, I'm getting dangerously close to catching up with the chat. Then we have an awkward silence while I wait for people to say things. Or I just disappear. How long's the stream actually? 2:30. I might have to go soon. I've got work the day after tomorrow. Oh, I guess it's tomorrow now. Ah, no. Hey man, thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Perhaps poll if people think going to uni is relevant in 2025. Alright, good idea. Poll. I'll probably get demonetized by some uni lobbying. Ask a question. Is university relevant for EE in 2025? I'll put 24/5 because we've got people in the across the ocean watching who are still back in the past. Is university relevant for EE in 2025? Let's try that. It's just simple yes or no again. Do you have any community hackerspace workshops near where you live? I've never looked. I've heard of them. They don't sound like my cup of tea because there's other people in them. They sound really good, and I know there's a lot of people that are like into all this like hackspace things, and it sounds really good, but not for me. My uni does Formula Student too, and I might have accidentally stolen a microcontroller from them. Just one. I might have accidentally stolen a bit more than that. 1.99. Thank you very much. You should say something. Make the most of your super chat. Just say hi, and then I can say hi back. I'll say it for you. Hi. Forgot to give it back, and they never contacted me about it. I think a microcontroller. I think you'll be all right. When you consider how much you're paying for the degree, probably. I really like the series you did on power converters and the simple way you explained it using reference PCBs. Did you ever release these designs, or do you plan to publish schematics/boards? The Buck Boost flyback. Buck Boost. Yeah. I guess that's what you're talking about. Do I ever plan to publish schematics/boards? Probably not, because I would like people to make their own. The idea's there. If someone wants to make like demo boards, then they can just do it. I think I designed all of those boards and the breakout board that plugs into them in a day. So if you get up to speed with like KiCad or whatever PCB design you want to use, I think you sort of, I encourage people to make them themselves, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but yeah, that was something where I can't really remember how I came up with the idea of the board that plugs into with all the BNCs, but that worked out so nicely. I wasn't sure if the current shunts on the back of the board would really work without amplifiers, but just about got away with it. I've had to do some quite heavy filtering on the scope end to make it look nice, but I think in the end it was pretty good. Quite expensive though, all of those boards. I made 2 of every converter, and that breakout board as well. Those BNC board mount connectors are quite pricey. So, yeah. Oh, it's scrolled all the way. Are MLCC caps the only ones negatively affected by DC bias? I'm not an expert on it, but I mentioned it because I thought it was worth mentioning. It's also something I've been like chatting to people about recently. I think different caps are affected different amounts. I wouldn't say they're definitely not the only ones, but I think there's certain dielectrics of MLCC that are really bad. Like the one I showed the graph of, where you can lose like 80% of the capacitance once they're fully charged. I really want to do a video about that, but it's one that will take a bit of planning and things, so hopefully it can come at some point. Do you use LT Spice more for behavioural simulation, and hence use ideal components, or do you trust the parts to actively search for real-world parts for real-world sim? I don't really use simulations a lot, to be honest. Most of my simulating I do is in some software called Plex, which is pretty much the same as Simulink in MATLAB, except it's kind of its own package and is a bit cleaner. I think Plex is quite expensive. I get it through uni. But that's basically just if I think of like a converted topology I want to try or something like that, I just quickly throw it together, all ideal components, just to see if it works. I don't really simulate. I tend to kind of like simulate my circuits in my head. Because, I mean, for YouTube, for the videos I'm showing here, most of the things I'm making are quite fairly simple. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like doing simulations much. Just find it a little bit boring. I think for this use case of the videos and things, I can just make it, and if it doesn't work, then just kind of fix it. Is my preferred strategy. Is it New Year's where you're at? Yes, it was half an hour ago. I am in the UK. I don't think it's relevant to go to uni anymore. The whole reason I went to uni was because I had no real world exposure. And I bet uni helped with that. Still got people voting, so I'll leave it up a little bit longer. Uni is a yes for me. The structure provided by an institution is very valuable, not to mention the other opportunities, clubs, etc. available. Yeah, uni's definitely a kind of like, the more you... There's a very big range of what you can get out of it. If you just turn up to lectures, sit at the back and play on your phone, you're not going to get much. But if you like do the different societies and clubs and talk to the lecturers and all this stuff, it's just a huge difference. Lots of people are retracting messages. What are you guys saying? Speaking of flybacks, do you think it's something you'd ever cover? Potentially, in what video could it be? I think I definitely will, because that's kind of the next step on. I've done the buck boost converter, so just a bit of isolation and you've got a flyback. So I will almost certainly do a video on it. But I think the next month or two's videos, I've already got kind of rough ideas for what I want to do. So any suggestions or anything like that will be after that. I'd like to do them quicker, but I haven't got much time. I wish every high school had those little boards for learning purposes. Yeah, I know that's kind of what I was saying to myself, or like to justify the cost of them, because yeah, I went very overkill with the components on them as well, but just the BOM for the components for the boards and the breakout board and things, it was like over £200. So I was just thinking, like, I might not get this back from these videos, but these are invaluable teaching tools. I'm sure I'll use them in the future. So hopefully I'll use them in the future, because they're just being able to just see any signal. I thought, like, hopefully one day I'll be a teacher at like a uni or something, and you just have that at the front of the class, have a scope with the screen sort of like cloned on the big projector in front of everyone, and you can just say, this is the capacitor current, and just show them. I know it's exactly the same as waveforms on a PowerPoint, but it's also real. And you can show how things change. It's just really cool. I started out as a soldering tech and learned electronics, circuit troubleshooting, and studied under the EEs I work with. Yeah, I think technicians always seem really knowledgeable. I guess it's just because they have so many like interactions with other people. Like yeah, like even if they haven't gone to uni, they probably know more than a lot of people that have, because they've learnt from so many different people, sort of coming to them with problems and things to fix and things like that. I got a flyback transformer from a local market just for fun. I've got no idea the pinout, so I'm scared to start hooking up random power. Yeah, it's so annoying when you buy like a random thing like that and you don't know what pins are where, because you can measure resistance of windings, you can measure inductance, but it still won't tell you things like isolation between windings, because normally you'll have some that are isolated with a high voltage between them and some that aren't. Like I've got this, let's see if I can quickly lift it up. I've got this massive transformer that I bought from a sale because I saw it and it was massive, so I bought it. And you can see it's got like loads and loads of taps on it. And they're not all taps, it's got like, it seems to have like 5 or 6 different windings as well. But I have no idea where to even begin for like trying to work out what voltage rating they are and things like that. So you might recognise that I use it as an inductor to demonstrate like high voltage when you disconnect an inductor. That's about all I can think to use it for, really. I also use it when I have my tripod set up in funny ways to stop it tipping over. So basically a doorstop. Right, poll finished. 70%, well 69% say uni is still relevant in 2024. 5. So that's good for the unis. But 30% is quite a lot of people saying uni's pointless, basically. What have we got now? Formal education just introduces you to bullies when you are most vulnerable, when you're distracted. Anyone who does engineering should have a home lab. Yeah, I was very disappointed, like, because I've been into electronics and engineering, yeah, forever. And I was thinking, like, finally I can go to uni, I'm going to meet like-minded people, they're going to have like labs and things. It's 200 people on my course and none of them seem to have like a home lab or any interest in electronics at all. Over time I sort of found a few that were interested, but they didn't have, like, the most home lab they'd have would be a box with a soldering iron and an Arduino in it. And yeah, thermal imaging camera, question mark. What's the question? I have one. I bought one of these ones that plugs into the phone because I just wanted a way to record it easily. It's the Fleur 1 Pro, and it's pretty nice, I think. Yes, New Zealand, New Year since 13 hours now. How long's the stream? I'm probably not going to have the stream much over 3 hours because, I mean, it's got to get boring at some point. Also, lots of talking from me, my throat will go. Plex for an individual is around $8,000. $8,000 US dollars. Wow. I guess that's a reason to stay an academic, is getting that for free. I wonder if they'd give me a free license. I'd probably have to do like a sponsor bit saying, get Plex now. It's completely unaffordable. It's nice though, it's simple to use. Where did you get your multi-drawer storage organizers for your components? The orange ones are from eBay, I think. I don't know what they're called. They're just like some cheap ones. They're not very good. I got one, liked it, so then a year later I asked for 2 more. I think it's probably Christmas. I remember they were 50 quid each. That's all I remember though. Yeah, there's a few problems with them. They've got these little like plastic nubbins so that the doors kind of click shut. But they're really bad like quality control. So some of them you'd pull on the drawer and the whole thing would just tip over. So I took all the drawers out, went through cutting them all off, so now the doors just slide in and out smoothly. And also it's like the nice ones are like hard plastic and these are all floppy plastic. So they're not the best. The really nice ones, they're very expensive, but when you get like they're like sort of standard sizes, so it might be like a square that's like, well, that size, and then you can get them with like maybe 4x4 little drawers or 2x2 bigger drawers or something like that, and they're kind of like a jigsaw piece at the side, so they can all slide together. So you can fill your entire wall with these little drawers, and you can customize where you want little drawers and big drawers. I dream of that one day, but I think it would cost like several £1,000s to fill a wall with drawers. I'd quite like one of those like turnstile ones as well. They seem pretty cool, but I don't think you'd be able to have it on carpet. Do you think you're getting close to inventing something? I've invented loads of things, but then I find it's already been invented. It's so annoying. Have any of you had that where, like, I think because especially like when I was younger, and kind of now as well, I'm a bit stubborn. Like yeah, well, definitely before I went to uni, there was a lot of things I thought of, but because I hadn't been taught it, I was like, oh, I've got this great idea. When I'm older, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this circuit I've come up with that generates high voltage or something like that. And then I sit in a lecture in first year at uni and they say, this is a boost converter. And I'm like, I invented that. So, and it's still happening now. The number of times where big transformers like that make a good anvil or weight. Yeah, if I need to hammer something, it'd probably be quite good as well, wouldn't it? How long to get a degree in EE or finish? Someone has already replied. 4 to 5 years. Oh, in the UK, most degrees are 3 years. LT Spice is free. Yes, it is. I think I go. I'm simply too tired. Wish you all well. Bye. Goodbye. I'm probably going to go soon as well. What can we expect for your next video? Next video will be on active power factor correction. I was going to do the setup during this live stream, but you guys just haven't shut up, so I haven't been able to. Let's see if I can show it. Oh, it's fixed to the load now, so you can't really see, but maybe you can just about make out. That's the boost converter. Oh, no. That's the boost converter from the last videos. And I've designed just a full bridge rectifier board that screws onto it. So I'm just going to show that with the rectifier going into a cap, the waveform's horrible. Do a bit of clever boosting, and it's not horrible. It's basically going to be the premise of the video. I think it'll be about 15 minutes long, is my guesstimate at the moment. I'm hoping to have it done in no more than 2 weeks. But they always seem to take longer than I expect at the moment. And then the one after that will be on double pulse testing, which is something I want to do a video about. I think it's really cool, but I don't think it's going to be... I think it's quite niche. Love from India. Shoeboxes are great. Is there a shoebox somewhere? I do use shoeboxes for things. Have you seen one somewhere? If it was already invented, then you have not invented anything. You have reinvented something. Well, in that case, I have reinvented many things. I once invented my own serial communication protocol, and when I moved to a new job I realised I had invented what they were already using. Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me. Do you have a 3D printer? I do. I don't have it here. I haven't used it for years. It's made by a company called XYZ. It's like just a cheap thing. It seems like a really nice project to build a 3D printer, but I just wanted one that I could just buy and use and work. It's the same with quite a lot of things, like this electronic load behind me. No, that's too complicated. There. This is a Kikasui one. It's a really nice project to make an electronic load, but I just want one that works for a different project. I don't want it to be the project. So it's the same for the 3D printer. I just bought one. It's a fully enclosed one because I knew that, because I print in ABS, and I had heard that ABS is quite sensitive to like airflow and things, but it's quite old now, so I think it's probably not very good. But I do use it sometimes when I have a project and I just need this to fix to this. Just quickly make it in CAD and have it the next day. Is consumer PFC mostly a European thing? Yeah, I think so in the EU, I have it up here. We have something called IEC 61000-3-2, which is regulations on harmonics for any power supply over 75 watts. And basically they just mean if you've got more than 75 watts peak power, you have to have active power factor correction. I think the US has something similar, but I think it might be optional. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I guess a lot of things are made for everywhere, so I think probably a lot of things in the US have PFC, like PC power supplies will all have it. Because PFC is the easiest way to make things dual voltage as well. Top shelf behind you looks like shoe boxes. Oh, the blue boxes. They're JLC PCB boxes. It's brilliant. Because, especially recently, because I've been getting so many boards for the videos, I didn't really know what to use them for. And then I thought, oh, I can have one for each video. So this is for the video I did on variable efficiency, which was not very popular. And that's what the white bits are, is the labels. So we've got buck boost, double pulse test, that's upcoming, linear power supply, MOSFET video, capacitor video, active power factor correction. And then the other two are empty that I use for transporting stuff. Yeah, they're really useful. Surprisingly, the box the boards come in are quite useful for keeping the boards in. So yeah, I'll quickly show you the double pulse test board. I put pictures on my Instagram, but this is the board I've designed for the double pulse test video. It's probably the nicest looking board I've made for these videos yet. So you've got two connections here, DC plus and minus. This big film cap, we're going to charge that up to 400 volts. And then we're going to have up to 100 amps coming out of this terminal flowing into an inductor. And there's some silicon carbide MOSFETs underneath the gate drive board, which is this black board, which has a very fancy DC to DC converter and a gate driver chip. It's all quite nice, if I may say so myself. So yeah, no, this isn't an advert. No, I don't have small feet. But yeah, these are really nice looking. I think the webcam probably doesn't do them justice. Coming soon. Have you used LabVIEW at uni or MATLAB? I use MATLAB a lot. I use MATLAB more at home than I do at uni. It's a uni license, but like all of the plots that I showed in the last video, not all, pretty much all of them, I processed all the data in MATLAB and then exported that as a CSV and then plotted it in Excel, because Excel is a bit nice. It's a bit more YouTube friendly, the plots from Excel. But I'm quite a fan of MATLAB, I have to say. I definitely don't use it. I don't think many people use it how it was originally intended, but it's nice in some ways. I work with VFDs at work, and the other day, one overheated breaker tripped. I was waiting for 10 minutes, the display go off, caps kept it on. Terrifying and cool. Yeah, when you turn something off and it just stays on for ages because of the caps, I find it really scary if there's something with cooling fans, because you think like you can hear them using power. This thing should just turn off. Like even that rack mount power supply I've got over there, the fans will be on going. You turn it off and they just go and just keep going, and you're like, is it off? And then eventually they go. But yeah. I had XYZ DaVinci Junior 3D printer. It was a good starter printer. Yeah, So my DT teacher at school had one of those, and obviously I had to have something better than my teacher, so I got the XYZ something plus. I don't really remember what it was. I think it was XYZ something 2.0 plus, and the plus didn't mean anything. There was no not plus version. It was alright. GLC PCB boxes really do make good storage. I have the same system here. Glad it's not just me. Are there many women at your uni course? When I was young, there were none. There's definitely more than there was. The reasons we won't discuss. But it's definitely good. I think it's like my viewership as well. I think I've got about 3% female viewership, which is not as high as I think it should be, but it's definitely better than none. How many is there on the course? I think it's probably like 10. No, it's probably more than that. Maybe 20% female, which is pretty high. Especially when you compare it to like my viewership as an example. But yeah, I think engineering as a whole is quite different for women, for some good reasons and some bad reasons. But yeah, when I was at school, they had a club, like a STEM club, and it was just for girls, and there wasn't a boys one, and I don't like that kind of thing. I think it's important. Equal opportunities is important. I think I don't think discouraging people from doing something is a good way to encourage other people. And yeah. Are your PCBs and terminations designed for high voltage, or are you just taking chances? It's mostly designed for high voltage. Someone at work was laughing at it because I brought in the boards and I was like, I'm going to put 400 volts through these, and he said, what's the clearance between the 400 volts? And I said 1 millimeter, because I always put 1 millimeter clearance up to 600 volts. In my head, 1 millimeter is fine. And he was like, that's quite tight. And I was like, it is quite tight, isn't it? But I've 1000 volt insulation tested the boards and they've been all right. So it's probably fine. You'd probably want a bit more than 1 millimeter gap in a proper application. But yeah, 400 isn't super high. I'm mostly concerned about myself. I'm trying to come up because I've got no one here to like watch me when I'm doing HV, and I thought I could do it on live stream, but then I thought if I die on stream, that's not very good. So I've been trying to come up with some system to make high voltage vaguely safe. I'd like a proper test enclosure, but they're way too expensive. So my plan at the moment is to have a button that activates the high voltage at the other side of the lab. So I can only activate high voltage when I'm far from the bench. So then even if I have the strange urge to run over to the bench, by the time I get over there, the high voltage is gone. It's not that good, but it's better than nothing. Certain active components can use very high current when the voltage is diminishing slowly due to large caps. I use MATLAB way too much. I should be in prison for exploitation of MATLAB. I think probably quite a few of us should be. My school in the US only had women's soccer. I thought the universe was against me. Yeah, I just think it's a bit weird doing, like, obviously there's no problem with women's only, but then you'd either do like women's only and then everyone, or women's only and men's only or something. But when it's just one, it's just it's a little bit annoying. If you die on stream, you might be penalised. I know, you wouldn't want the stream to get demonetized. That would be really annoying. I think I get like 50p in ads from the streams though, so. It's quite funny actually, when the stream finishes, it's like sort of 3 hours or something. And then I think I've accidentally got it set up at the moment so that YouTube automatically uploads it with mid-roll ads, and it just bombs it with mid-roll ads. So normally I have to then go and say no ads, please, because the number of views it gets, it's not really worth it. But it tries to put a sponsor an ad spot in like every 4 minutes or something in a 3-hour stream, and I'm like, who is going to watch this? The button you speak of is called the dead man's handle. I knew it was something to do with dead man, and it's sometimes constructed as 2 buttons. Yes, yeah, it's not quite as cool as the 2 keys nuclear switch thing, but yeah, I was thinking of doing something like that. Have you used or played with microwave transformers? I've got one and taken out the high voltage winding and put a high current winding in. I don't approve of them being used for high voltage because they're really, really dangerous. I think I've got 2 that have the high voltage winding still there, but I haven't powered them. What's interesting actually though is if you put, at least in the UK, if you run the 240 volt winding from 12 volts, you get about 240 volts, or maybe it's 120. I'm fairly sure I remember getting 240 volts out from putting 12 volts in, and I thought this is an interesting way to get isolated 240. But yeah, no. Oh, this laptop's ruining my posture, guys. My mum will be after me. Onto me, I mean. No, oh, no. I wired the trigger up to require 2 hands to press. Yeah, I think I should probably do something like that. Are you close-sighted or long-sighted? I used to see small components really well, but now I need a good magnifier to see anything. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to... It seems inevitable, kind of like needing like glasses or that kind of thing. But I think at the moment I'm lucky enough that my vision's all right. The $50,000 question is, how many likes would you get if you self-deleted on stream? Yeah, I know, it'd probably go viral, wouldn't it? Gotta run. Glad I caught your stream. Happy New Year. Excited to see what videos you come up with. So am I. Thank you for joining. I will be going soon too, so you're not missing anything. I'm going to go in 2 minutes. I'm going to go at 1 o'clock. For home use, I really need a microscope with a USB. Yeah, you get quite cheap ones, don't you? I think... Oh, I've definitely had at least one like company or shop or whatever, store, asking me to review a USB microscope, but I don't know. I don't want to do just review videos. But yeah, you can get them quite cheap, like under £100. You look tired. I suggest going to bed. I am tired. I'm going to bed in 2 minutes. I'd normally be deep asleep by now. In fact, I'm probably going to go now because I've caught up with chat. There's still quite a lot of viewers though, so thank you very much for watching, everybody. 50,000 subscribers is crazy, and I'm probably pretty much at 60,000 by now, to be honest. Let's have a quick look, actually. I have got 59,900 subscribers right now. So 60k stream will probably be coming soon. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Yeah, brilliant. Have a great day or sleep. And Happy New Year, everybody. Now let's try and work out how to end the stream.